I'm only gonna make fun of you a little bit. A lot
It
of
was
it.
it was right off the dome. What, AI overview as a mid sentence.
Right off the dome is in I made it the fuck up. Guys, it's right off the dome, bro. Okay. Neurons just fired randomly and just came out with some bullshit. Oof. But what we do, Donald Trump banned 75 people in 75 different countries.
SSTI.org.
SSTI.org. What's the name of the article?
Council on Foreign.
Oof.
It actually looks like it increased to 700,000 now.
Okay, what, sir? What is
Yeah,
the
what's the name of the
site?
article? Just tell me the name.
And like, it could be true, but I just want to know what you're reading from.
USCIS.gov has a nice way they plot.
Oh my god.
This is a painful debate.
Because you're halting the conversation over semantic. We all know
No, I'm just
There's
that
nothing
number is
semantic
short.
about
just,
this,
just
sir.
What?
if
number?
you, it should
Okay,
be so easy. Just give me look at the name of the
just
article.
look, dude.
Tell me
I
what the
just
name
found
is.
it in 5 seconds. Go look up number of active H-1B visas in America.
I'm not asking for the number of active H-1
But
visas because that could
wait
be
a
from the
second.
prior
Wait a
administration,
second.
dude. You understand that,
No,
That's
right?
the
But
active number.
it still
Your
gets
claim was
renewed
that
and
Trump gave
approved
out
by the
That's the
500,000
current.
active
new
num. You're
ones.
talking about Trump
They
approvals.
get renewed
So
and
this isn't even
approved by the
proving your
executive
source. Now you're
branch.
lying, dude. This isn't even
Yeah,
proving
now
what
you
you're
just
trying to
changed
say.
what you said because you found out that
Oh
you were
no.
wrong.
He does he approved over 500,000
Here's what we know.
renewals.
No,
You just made that up,
you made the
bro.
claim that there's
It was
500,000
actually
new people
700,000.
because of Trump. And now that you looked up and found out you're incorrect, you're going to lie and
See, that's
pretend
the
that you said
semantic.
something
Pretend that
different
like
at
the
first.
number of active H-1 visas is proving your claim. Here's
That's
what we
the
do know.
semantic.
No,
When I
you're
say
lying.
when I say
Here's
when I
what
say
wait.
he approved
Here's what we
when
do
I
know.
say he approved
Here's what we do.
H-1B visas,
Here's what
they
we
have
do.
to be renewed annually.
Here's what we do now. Donald Trump has currently banned 75 different countries from people in this country from being able to apply any visas. He added $100,000 fee for HB1 visas. He completely got rid of the refugee program, aside from white Afrikaners. He tried to ban the asylum program, but the courts reversed it, so he had to implement only $100 fee for to apply to asylum. And previously, he's done things like the Muslim ban, and all of this was either based off of, hey, with the HB1 visas, these people are coming in and they're stealing American jobs and undercutting American wages, and for number two, it's that it was not in the interest of the United States to have these people coming in here. So it seems for the most part that he's against legal immigration because he's literally making the legal immigrants are coming in and they're taking American jobs argument with the H1 visas. And you can't prove any of your claims, so.
We're still allowing legal immigration.
I'm not saying we're not. I never said we were banning literally all legal immigration. It's just that for the most part, for the most part, legal immigration has been completely stymied by the Trump administration. For the first time, this is the first time since the 1960s that we have had net migration because people aren't coming here, and that's because of Trump policies.
I'm just seeing it right now. His hike, it represents a 1,500% to 5,800% increase in price. Do you think that's pro-immigration or anti?
It's still allowing them over here, but we still
Do you
have to.
think
They still
it's
are going to compete with
pro-immigration
American.
This is always
policy
it's
or an
literally to me like
anti-immigration
I always
policy?
like to describe it. It's like somebody saying that they like soda because they drink one soda per year, but for the most part, and a lot of them drink one soda per year, but for the rest of the year they refuse to drink any. Right? Like
If
for the most part, Donald Trump is doing everything in his power to restrict the amount of legal immigrants coming to the country, and then occasionally,
if
okay, maybe we can allow them in a couple of them.
Well, it's being more selective for sure. We still
If
like legal
That's not
immigration.
you
being
but
more.
were
You can
drinking,
you can try
It
like
is.
how
You just
you can
say
try.
let's
we're
explain
not
it
You can
to you
try
like
average.
this.
Average. You can try
we're not
couch it.
allowing third worlders to come over
Average.
here.
You can try. Really, Singapore third world?
What?
Is Singapore third world?
No.
Really? Then why did he ban visas from there?
What was his reasoning on that?
It was against the interests of America.
Okay, he didn't just say that. What was his reason for banning Singapore? I don't know his reason for all 75 countries, but
He gives the reason for all 75 different countries.
I know majority of them there's no fiscal benefit from importing the third world. They don't relate to our norms. You look at Operation Welcome Allies, you imported thousands and thousands of Afghan refugees, and they were not able to even survive or mingle in our
What are you using to
society.
say that?
I was in the military when they came over. They were like, they didn't speak our language. They didn't know our customs. You had to treat them a certain way. Communication was impossible. You couldn't.
Okay,
You
so
couldn't.
so
If
you
you
had an initial.
one guy
What is your
complimented
wait? Do
one
you
of
think
their.
your
Hold
personal
on.
experience
Let
with
me
them
tell
when
you
they initially
something.
came over here means that they never integrated into society?
It makes sense for me. I see it happen
Does it mean
firsthand
that they
that
never
it's
integrate into
not
society?
compatible. They had to brief the entire military on how to
Does it
interact with
mean
these
that,
people
dude? Of course, when people initially come into America, they're gonna have a hard time like learning the language and becoming
and
and
our
like getting accustomed to
laws.
culture. That's how that shit works,
They
bro.
didn't
When
understand
you
that.
come to a guys, the new guy who just got hired onto a job doesn't know what to do, and he needs to be trained, and he's
Maybe
not with
they
the
should
company culture.
understand our
That's how
laws
that
and our
shit. That's how
culture
that shit.
before.
That's how shit
They should
works.
understand before they come
That's not
over.
how immigration. Wait. Did the Irish and the fucking Italians
Yes,
know
it
our
is
culture and
actually.
customs? Wait, did the Irish and the Italians know our customs and cultures before they came here?
What's that? The Irish and the Italians learn our
And yeah, and
back
the
in
Germans.
colonization, back
No,
during the
back in like the late
colonization time.
1800s and early 1900s, and we have the highest amounts of immigration in
Well,
proportion to
there's a
population.
reason why we have a citizenship test to make sure that people
That wasn't an answer
understand.
to my
Like
question. I asked if those people.
I'm telling you
That
reasoning
wasn't an
behind
answer to
my
my
logic.
question. I wasn't asking about your logic. I was
The
asking you to answer my
European world,
question.
well, okay, direct answer to your question. The European world is pretty similar to ours. It's all
Really? Then
Western
wait?
civilization.
Then why were
It's all
people?
Western civilization.
Then
It's
why
nothing
New?
like the
Wait, really?
Middle East compared
Then
to.
why New York, where there were little street wars over Catholics and Protestants, part of the Know Nothing Party, who was essentially anti-immigration, fighting the little fucking streets if they're so closely related in culture? That seems like some pretty big cultural conflict for people who are pretty closely related. Oh, it's almost like it takes time for people to assimilate into culture, and we shouldn't just expect everybody to immediately know all U.S. customs and all U.S. laws, huh?
I would expect them to at least know U.S. laws. I mean, people were getting things stolen out of their cars because they didn't understand that
You
theft was
know,
a crime.
legal and illegal immigrants commit crime at a far lower rate than U.S. citizens do, right?
It's kind of different though because we're stuck with the citizens. We don't have to bring in criminal immigrants.
We don't have to bring it.
That
Do
was
you
the
understand?
main.
Wait,
That's the main.
are you just against all immigration?
No,
Really?
I'm for selective.
You
I'm for
understand whenever
selective
wait, you
immigration.
understand whenever you bring in a different population, no matter how selective you are, some of those people are going to commit crime, right?
Correct.
Okay, so you're just gonna have to accept that. Okay, well then, it's the amount of crime they commit that you think is acceptable, and they commit crime at far lower rates than the U.S. citizens, and because of that, they
Legal
actually
immigration
legal
that has a
immigration, and they
stance.
actually
Not on illegal immigration. Not at all on
illegal
illegal
immigrants also
immigration.
commit lower amounts of crime, at least according to the PNAS studies. Yeah,
What do you define as crime? They break our immigration laws every day.
they break it once when they come across the border.
No, every single day you're in a violation of Title 8, you're breaking the law.
That's not multiple charges. That's not how that works. It'd be one
But
violation
that's
that you could be
breaking the
charged
law. That
on.
means they're an
That'd
ongoing
be
criminal.
breaking the law once. Every people speed every day, dude. Okay,
Okay,
like what do I
so at
say?
the very least, every single undocumented immigrant is a criminal. They've committed a
Every
crime.
single American. Have you ever sped on the road before?
That's an infraction.
Cool. You're a criminal.
So you're comparing an infraction to a
People speed on the
misdemeanor.
road
Most of the time,
multiple
it's a
times,
felony.
which can eventually be a criminal charge, and most people will do that multiple times in their life, multiple times within a year. Okay, we're all criminals. Cool. Like, what do you want me to say?
You think I'm like against like speed limits? I'm
Hmm?
against pretending like illegal
No,
immigrants are just
I'm guessing
completely fine.
no.
And you're arguing.
I'm against you pretending like you care about crime when legal immigrants literally lower the crime rates and illegal immigrants do it too.
They don't lower the
Really?
crime
When
rates. We
was
just
you
went over
understand that
that.
from the 1990s to 2007 we had the highest amount of legal immigrants coming to the country, right?
Hmm.
You also
Sure.
understand that the biggest crime drop in the U.S. happened from 1990 to 2007, right? wow, the group that apparently commits so much crime when they came in here the highest amount, actually we saw a lower crime rate,
I'm not-
and we actually have studies that
I'm
show
not
that mass
saying-
amounts
I'm
of
not-
immigrants coming to the country actually lower crime rates. It's almost like when you have one population that has a higher amount of crime, and you have a different population that has a lower amount of crime, and you move them to the same area, that the overall amount of crime rate is going to go down because because in proportion to population, the amount of crime that there is actually less. Holy shit! Basic statistics.
I'm not saying.
Well,
Well,
who would have thought that?
I'm
Like,
saying
come on, y'all.
illegal. I'm saying illegal immigrants,
Yeah,
not legal.
both do it.
Illegal immigrants.
Illegal
Every single
immigrants
person.
actually commit less crime than legal ones.
Once again, what's your definition of crime?
Anything in violation of the law?
So they break the law. Every single one of them broke the law. They're all criminals.
Almost every single American's broke the law. What would I say?
The difference is
What's the difference?
we have to put up with American citizens that break the law and actually put them through the justice system. We shouldn't have to put up with illegal immigrants breaking the law. We should have never allowed them in the country to break the law. We should have never done catch and release. We should have never done the parole system.
Wait, do you care about the total amount of crime that's happening, or do you?
What are you about to pivot? What are you about to pivot?
No, I'm just wondering. Like, do you care about the total amount of crime that happens, or do you just care about like the rate of crime that happens?
I care about preventing crime, and if there's, for example,
Really? So-
Lake and Riley,
Okay.
Lake and Riley, she should have never been unalived.
So are you just antinatalist? Then?
Her unaliver should have never been allowed in the
So
country.
you're just against anybody being born because people being born and is always gonna is always because if you prevent people from being born, you're gonna prevent crime because inevitably some people who are born are gonna be committing crimes.
I'm against allowing people at the border
You just said you were for preventing all crime. So look, if you want to ban all births, let's go ahead and do that, dude.
Yeah. Let's just stop reproducing. You got me. You got it.
Yeah, that's what you're like. That's what you logically
No.
lead to. That's what
No,
your
I'm
arguments
saying-
logically lead to. Yeah, unironically.
I'm saying keep the executive branch out of Democrat control so that they don't impose catch and release again.
What's catch and
Therefore,
release?
Stopping someone at the border and releasing them into the interior U.S.
Okay, why would they do that?
It's a good question. I mean, he ended it in June.
Oh,
Why did he keep it for so long?
They do. That's the reason they kept it is because that's what U.S. law permits.
So Joe
Yes.
Biden broke the law
So
when he went back on that?
Joe Biden was enforcing the law
he
actually.
repealed catch
So when
and
somebody
release.
So when somebody enters the country and they seek asylum and then they go through their initial processing and background checks, they can then be released out of U.S. Like law enforcement custody while they await trial. That's the system. That's perfectly legal.
Okay.
Catch and release
So,
is literally just following the laws. I don't know, like you guys can like put the scary like oh my god buzzword catch and release behind it. It's just how the
Then-
fucking system works. I'm sorry, bro.
Then you're saying Trump was breaking the law by repealing it.
Not necessarily. No, you can also just indefinitely hold people in detention
If catch
centers,
and
too.
release is the law, how did he repeal it without Congress?
Because ICE.
It was a policy put in place by Secretary
Federal
Mayorkas.
enforcement has broad discretion on how long they want to hold people.
That's why I'm saying keep it out of Democrat control so they don't go back to these types of policies that end up
That's a
having
good
2 million
policy though, because then we get places like
it's a good policy.
no,
It was
yes,
his
it is, because then we get places because then we get ICE because then we get ICE facilities like in Texas currently, which is a currently TRO against one Texas, where they were literally holding people like 23 days past the time to be released after a court order, not giving them proper living conditions, and shoving 50 people into a room made for 20. Because
Well, hold on.
when
You said it was good
when the courts do that and they say we don't have enough resources to do it, bro. That's why we do that shit. Because
You
we
said
don't
it was
want to.
good policy, but it was his number one issue.
It is good policy.
It was his number one issue running into the 2024 election. He had to repeal his immigration policy because it was so bad.
I disagree
Experts
with
were
Biden.
saying that
I
it was almost tied with the economy on Biden's worst
I
issue.
disagree with Biden. I disagree with Biden on that one.
You think he should have kept allowing 2 million Southern encounters at the border a year? When has that worked
He
out
wasn't
good
allowing
for
that.
any country?
How was he allowing? Wait,
He
what do you think
was.
an encounter is?
He was facilitating catch and release, the parole system. He expanded on asylum with the CBP One app. He fabricated that entire issue.
Wait,
and
stop
the American
ranting. Stop
people
ranting.
noticed.
What's an encounter?
The definition? Like
What's an
a
encounter?
literal stop and document at the southern border.
No, an encounter is two things, right? It's either a Title 8 apprehension or a Title 42 expulsion, right? And so that can mean a couple of things. That can mean that you're apprehended under U.S. immigration, under like the INA, and then later like formally removed and deported, or you're apprehended and you went through some kind of legal system like TPS or through asylum, or it could mean like what made up the majority of Biden's deportations, a Title 42 expulsion, where they deport you back across the border the second after they catch you. So increased encounters are actually a good thing in Biden's case, or most of his presidency, because it actually just indicated higher levels of deportations. So maybe if you knew what the law was and actually what made up these things, and like you knew the processes, you would know these are good things. Same with the CB1 mobile app. That was a good thing because it gave ICE knowing when people were going to cross the border to seek asylum, so they knew where to distribute certain resources to along the border.
It incentivized coming to the border because it pointed at amnesty. Anytime you point
People
at
were going to
amnesty,
do that anyways. It's whether
no,
would you
they
rather
weren't. They're
wait?
not doing
Yes.
it right now. They're not doing it right now.
Would you rather people willy-nilly cross the border to seek asylum, or schedule a time and place where CBP officers are going to pick them up so the CBP can distribute resources to specific places at specific times? And
I'd rather do what Trump did and see a 95%.
Wait, no, that wasn't an answer to my question.
Because that's not the only two options.
That's
not the only two options, and
I'm not saying it is the only two options. I'm saying which one's better.
I'll take C, what Trump did, and
I asked which one is better out of the two options I gave. Not that was the only options. Notice how you're not answering the question.
Okay, two shit options. I'll choose option B.
Obviously, yes. You want to know where people are going to cross the border. That's a good thing because then you can distribute resources.
What about option C? What about what Trump
option
did?
C is disgusting and terrible, and we shouldn't do it.
It's effective.
How was it effective?
Southern encounters are down 95% since
Southern encounters are going down before Trump got into office. Sorry.
Because it was a huge problem. He started repealing his immigration policy.
What did Biden
executive
repeal?
order? What did Biden repeal?
Yeah, did Biden repeal the CB1 mobile app?
He started restricting asylum grants. He started backtracking. He started backtracking on the idea of amnesty because it started becoming a problem.
Biden tried to do some
problem.
Biden tried to do some restrictions of
his
asylum.
re-election campaign.
Biden tried to do some restrictions of asylum. The court blocked him. What did he do?
Oh, you don't know. He got blocked by who? The Supreme Court?
No, he got blocked by the district court in California.
I don't think that stops him. I didn't even hear about this case.
Yeah. Trump also got stopped in this current administration when he tried to do it. That's why he did the $100 asylum fee. Asylum is just something that's baked into U.S. law. It's like nigh impossible to stop it. Oh shit. Oh, so why are you crying, lol? I'm not crying about anything, bro. We're just debating.
Yeah.
We're debating up in here.
So what he immediately did was he cracked down on asylum, limiting once asylum claims got to 2,500 at the border. The daily unauthorized accounts of asylum, once it hit 2,500, he started rejecting every single asylum case. He increased the level of screening for family. He changed his immigration policy through executive order to require that families have been in the U.S. for at least 10 years before. For parole. He did a handful of things because it was becoming an issue for him politically.
Okay. What are you using to say that?
His executive orders that he signed. Did you
What's
not
executive orders?
catch? Wait, you don't remember him repealing his immigration policies in June?
Which executive orders?
You want the exact numbers?
Wait, June last year?
June 2024. They were a disaster. The American people were hating it. We started seeing videos of caravans of hundreds of thousands of people headed towards the U.S. The first wrong thing he did was repeal all of Trump's.
Doesn't make sense. The first big drop in encounters were in December.
What? You go to CBP. That's not true at all. June. Fiscal year 2024. That's 2023. That's the.
Yeah, so it was even before that. That's even worse. Because you're saying that
But
it
look,
was because of his
he
policies being
put
repealed
in
that the
in
counters were going
June, and
down.
then they immediately almost went in half. It was a fabricated.
They were going down way before those policies were ever repealed.
Hello,
Yeah, what's up?
I got a call. What did you say after I said that
Hmm?
it dropped after June?
Yeah, that was a continuing trend though from months before prior.
It was a direct result.
How can
What
you
do
say
you
it's a
mean a
direct
trend?
result?
It
How can you
literally
say
leveled up.
how,
It leveled out for 6 months before that.
where was the level off for 6 months?
Right on the graph, dude.
Or was it right on the graph?
As yeah, go to May to June. What happened after? Yep.
It was already going down in May, dude. What are you talking about?
And then after,
Yeah, it was
down
already going
30
down in May.
down
What are you talking about?
30%. Right there it was down 30% in 1 month.
Yeah, and then
And
leveled
then
off
look what
again.
and then look what happened when Trump came into office.
Wait, do you acknowledge that most of the drop had happened before this even happened? Most of the drop under
I know
Biden's administration happened before it even hit June.
he hit some records
Wait. Can
back
you
there in
acknowledge that most
December.
of the wait? Can you acknowledge that most of the drop up of border encounters in Biden's administration happened before June even hit?
There's a lot, but are you saying that his changes didn't make a difference?
Hmm? I
Are
don't
you
know if
saying
they
that his
did,
change?
honestly. Yeah, because most of this
Okay.
trend was
Well,
happening prior to that.
there's not a single serious political commentator that will say his
Like
executive
who?
orders in June. Like, I don't think I've seen anyone take this stance that Joe Biden didn't
Cool. I don't
his
really care.
executive
I don't really
orders,
care what everybody else said. I'm
his
looking at the data.
restriction.
I'm looking at the data right here, and I can see that majority of the border encounters literally went down before the June policies were even enacted.
And you think that was just by chance?
Hmm? I
You
don't
think
think
that
it's
was
by.
just by
No, I don't
chance?
think it's necessarily
Okay,
by
so what
chance.
was the reason?
I think it's the ending of like COVID era policies like Title 42.
And when did those end?
Like what was it? May 23? No, March 23.
So
And we
that's not
know
even close.
and we know statistically from Pew Research that
That's not even close
26
to
26
December.
we know that statistically 26% of all border encounters were inflated by repeat crossers, and that was due to expulsions.
Right. So do you
So
think it's a good thing that Trump came into office and got those encounters down to almost net zero?
how do I know that that was Donald Trump?
Well, so you think the president's like executive orders and his immigration policy doesn't? You think it's a coincidence that Trump came and the number plummeted
It
to
was
a
already
couple
going down.
thousand?
It already went down by hundreds of thousands more before Trump got into office. Why would I assume that wasn't just like carrying on of the trend from effects before and a, like a direct
A
policy implication of
95%
Donald Trump?
drop is just a coincidental drop to
It
you?
went from
It has
300.
nothing. It has
It
nothing to
went
do
from
with
300,000 to under 100,000 under Biden. That's literally over a 200% drop.
after he modified his
That's
immigration
not
policy.
true. That happened. The June thing happened here. Okay,
When
so
did it
that
hit
was
60,000? That was like August of 2024.
what?
When it hit 60,000, what was that, like
It never hit
September, August?
60,000, and the lowest it hit was like 104,000. Looking at
It didn't go down further after that? Or was that January that it hit Biden's last month in office?
Biden's last month in office was like December 20. Was December,
It's January.
and it was at 90.
His last month in office was
January 20th.
January.
Yeah,
What
January
was the
20th.
number? What was the number in January?
61,000.
Okay. So clearly, when you go from June 130,000 to 60,000 in January, there is a huge drop there. And then 60,000 all the way down to like what, 6,000?
Okay, but the majority of the drop had happened before the policies
And
that you're saying were
your
enacted.
argument here is that had nothing to do with Donald Trump
No, I'm just saying the correlation isn't
transitioning
there.
like 100,000 acres to the army of U.S. borderland.
I'm just saying
It has
no,
nothing to do with
no. Just saying, like, if you're trying, like, the point that you're trying to use is that the correlation.
getting rid of the CBP
That's
One
not
app.
nope,
It has
nope.
nothing.
That's not my argument. The argument is that if you're trying to use a correlation of these to like draw to say that this is because by Trump's policies, it wouldn't really make sense if that was already a continuing trend happening from years prior, and you'd have to have some kind of more like
A 95% drop isn't a trend.
Can I finish? Can I finish? Can I finish? Okay, you would have to have some kind of more causal right evidence to say that this was an effect carrying on from previous trends where we saw almost a 200% drop, but something that was specifically due to Trump's policies.
Okay, who's in charge of immigration in America?
Kristi Noem,
What branch?
DHS,
What branch of government?
the executive.
The executive. Therefore, what happens under these branches? The buck stops with them.
No,
If it's good, or if it's bad, it's
no, it doesn't. I'm not. No, not every effect under. No, if there was, if Mexico got fucking nuked.
why
No,
was there
Mexico.
zero-
No, if Mexico got fucking nuked and a bunch of people started coming over the U.S. border illegally. I didn't say the buck stops with who was ever president at the time. I would say that wasn't their
didn't
fucking
happen.
fault.
Aside from
I never said that. I never said that.
existential
No,
crisis.
I never said that happened. I'm just saying that just because there's an increase in illegal immigration, just because there's an increase in encounters, because there's a decrease in encounters, doesn't mean there was a direct implication to the president's policies.
So you don't think that the executive branch has control over immigration in the country? It's just sometimes it's high, sometimes it's low. It doesn't matter what the executive branch is doing. That's what you're arguing right now.
I think the executive branch just have control over it. I do think there
Okay,
is
so
like
how
some
much
level,
control?
or it has some level of control. I don't know exactly what level of control or exactly what policies are going to do what. You need to make the causal evidence that that's actually happening. That's not my claim to prove.
Talking with a liberal is so exhausting.
Wait, how's it? Wait, talking to
me.
Talking to me is exhausting when I point out, hey, this is a continuing trend where we saw almost a 200% drop before any of these policies were enacted. So you're gonna need some kind of causal evidence to prove this. And then you're like, oh, but the buck stops with the president, bro. Have you ever thought of that? Everything under any administration is automatically their fault of their policy they enacted.
I'll tell
I'm
you why
sorry,
it's
I progressed
exhausting.
past like a preschooler's understanding of politics, dude. That's not my fault. Also, if you're on YouTube, join the Discord.
Okay.
That's a debate.
Another freaking phone call. Why it's exhausting is because Trump comes into office, right? Does a slew of executive orders, transfers land to U.S. Army, increases number of personnel at the border, forces Mexico to bring like 15,000 troops to the border. He bans the CBP One app, does away with parole, tightens up on immigration drastically. Therefore, 95% drop in Southern encounters. This is why it's exhausting because you're
200% drop previous.
Because you're
what's your favorite flavor? What's your favorite? What is your favorite?
His immigration policies
average guy
had no effect.
Nope, I just said you need to prove that.
Nope,
I just said that you need to prove that. Listen to my argument. What's your favorite flavor of Skittle? Average guy.
Probably red.
Red? Okay.
That's why I said it's exhausting. Because you have to throw common sense and reality out the window, and say that you agree that the executive branch has control of the immigration policy.
What's
of course they
correlation?
do.
What's the correlation?
Nobody would disagree.
Do you understand
with
the difference between
But
correlation and causation?
Yes.
Okay, so you understand
but I don't think that
so
applies.
you understand correlation and causation is common sense, and you seem to not understand that. So you're like problems you here. But
okay.
Hey, bro.
I think that the executive branch's policy on immigration and the southern border has a huge effect on the amount of southern encounters.
For the most
part, I think you're probably the first
I don't really.
I've ever
You
met
can keep.
that
You can
disagrees
keep
with
I
that.
really don't care. You can keep talking. Like I in my argument, you seem like they have a failure to understand anything I say.
Well, I'm curious.
You can keep
Are
like
you?
just like saying repeating your point over and over again. Okay, like
Yeah, I don't think we're getting anywhere with that. I'm curious though. Are you? Where do you draw
yeah,
the
we're not
line
getting
with
anywhere
it?
because you can't
Where do you
understand the
draw the
argument
line
I'm
with?
giving.
Where do you draw the line with illegal immigration? Should we just let everyone in?
People shouldn't immigrate illegally. People who have been here
Okay,
who've been here illegally for like 5 years and aren't like criminals should be kept.
they shouldn't be subject to deportation.
Yep, I think that'd be too negative to the U.S. economy.
So if someone breaks, so what about if someone's been here for a year? Should they be deportable?
Yeah,
So for you, if someone breaks our laws for a longer amount of time, then they get amnesty. If they break our immigration laws for a longer amount of time,
I'm saying the people who've currently been here 5 years. I think we
yeah,
should.
yeah, yeah. You're
I think the
saying,
idea should be we provide people amnesty, and then after that, anybody who comes in illegally, no matter the length of time, just gets deported.
isn't that what Reagan did? And Democrats didn't follow through on that promise. He granted 3 million legal immigrants amnesty with the promise that there would be no more illegal immigration. The border would be taken seriously, and that never happened. Don't we learn about history so we don't repeat our mistakes?
I think the opposite. I think we need to also. I think this is still the case. At the same time, we need to make it easier to immigrate here legally.
Immigrate here legally?
Yep. And allow more legal immigrants to the country. Unlike what Trump is doing by continuing to restrict.
Why should well, first that would assume that we owe a duty to other people to allow them to immigrate here. But once again, we're looking at some of the worst numbers.
We do owe some amount of duty. We did sign the 1951 UN Convention and the 1967 UN Protocols, which does give us a duty to like refugees and asylum seekers. But we're more talking about visas. So
Running from tyranny,
Huh?
not people who just want to migrate here for financial reasons. The reason for migrating. Okay, so do you agree that some reasons are worth allowing people to migrate here and not worth?
Yep. Like if somebody wanted to come here to murder the president, that probably wouldn't be a reason, you know.
What if someone came here because they said that they know how to be a plumber and America pays more? Is that a good reason to let them in?
Yeah. If you come through on a visa, yeah, that's a great reason.
Okay. Well, I am curious though.
Well, isn't that the American dream? Isn't that we're built off of that? I'm coming to America to make my life, my family's life better. That's what the majority of the immigrants coming here to 1900s were doing. What's
It's
wrong with
kind of
that?
different when we're comparing colonization when there's nothing here, no social safety nets, nothing to take advantage of, just dry, bland land. That comparing us to now, where there's a huge incentive for people to come here and start collecting millions of dollars worth of
Colonization.
social services.
I don't think colonization is a good thing.
That's
Start
what you're
collecting social
talking
service.
about when
Okay,
people are
do
coming
we
over
have
here.
like what's the evidence that like legal immigrants are coming here and disproportionately taking like social services and the amount of money to get back?
83% of Somalians are on some form of
I
welfare.
didn't ask about Somalians. I asked about legal immigrants.
They're legal immigrants.
And the
and they came
83%
over
number,
here,
by the way, comes
and
from exclusively immigrants in Minnesota. If you look at the overall numbers, it's less.
Okay, yeah, 83. There's a huge incentive for them. 83% of the Somalians.
Guys,
in
83% of a specific
are on some
nationality
form of
that live in a specific state come here. That must apply to all legal immigrants. Give me a break.
So
bro.
you would agree though that the risk analysis isn't really there to have all the Somalians coming into Minnesota, right?
I think it is.
83% are on welfare.
I think it's fine.
It's fine to import a group of people that is 83% of them are going to end up being required to be on welfare, social services.
I think
subsidized by the taxpayer.
Oh, but
you think that's good policy?
Half of them are first generation immigrants, and over time, those people are gonna have children, and those children are gonna eventually get off welfare and get better. I think they'll be fine. Yeah, sometimes it just takes a little bit for people to integrate.
I don't think that's the trend that we see. We see typically
Really?
welfare follows generations. If you come from welfare, you're like 9 to 10 times more likely to continue to be on welfare. That's like the stats don't really support you on that.
I agree. For the most part, as I see, immigration's been a success
But
story.
that's the
For the most
craziest
part-
thing
for the most-
talking
for
to
the most-
liberals.
For the most part, if we look at I guess we'll bring up the Harvard meta-analysis. looked at if immigrants are fiscally beneficial to America, they saw over their lifetime they're overall positive
Who is?
fiscally.
Who?
Harvard
Illegal immigrants?
legal immigrants, yes.
Yeah, legal immigrants are fine because we're very selective with who we let in. There's a long line. Illegal immigrants are by no means
Wait, so you're okay with
fiscal
letting in
benefit.
more legal immigrants in then, because you accept
I'm
they
fine
are
with
good.
for the fifth time. I'm fine with selective immigration, bringing in people who are going to be a net positive on our
So
system.
what do you mean by select?
I'm
what do you mean by
not fine
selective
with
immigration?
Minnesota's. I'm not fine with Minnesota's implementation.
What do you mean by
of our
selective immigration?
Selective immigration, like almost like a resume system where you're saying, I bring this benefit to America. Somalians don't bring any benefits to America.
Really?
Their IQ is I think their average IQ sits around 67.
Do you think IQ is heritable? Do you think that
which is
people's
legally
IQ
legally
Wait, what do you think the average
on
IQ
average
of somebody who was Irish coming over here in the 1800s were? And I can tell you, it wasn't anything like to brag about.
The question is this person going to make us better or worse? Someone with
I
an
think
IQ
on
of
average, it'll make us
60
better. Like
Someone that
I'm
doesn't
sorry. Like I
Hold
want to
on.
be clear. Your great white ancestors who are coming over in the 1900s were poor as fuck and not very smart because they lived in terrible conditions. They are
They
probably
were coming to an undeveloped country. We are now a
what
developed
does being
country.
what does being an undeveloped country have to do with the fact that they were beneficial?
Second, third world country, because we're not colonizing anymore. We're fully developed. We have social safety nets that we need to protect for the actual taxpayers
Cool,
that
and
fund
you
them.
understand, like
Unless
unless you think that a poor
funding these
immigrant,
systems so
unless you
people
think,
can come in and
unless
use
you
them.
think,
They're
unless you
funding
think,
them in case the taxpayer falls on a short, like span of luck.
unless you think,
This is
unless
not
you
meant-
think a poor, unless you think third world countries are just incapable of going to school and becoming more educated, or you think that there isn't some kind of shortage in like a more low skilled labor jobs, which there is, like in specifically hospitality, then I don't think you actually believe in the American dream.
Hospitality.
Yes.
Yeah, that ended up working great. That ended up working out great.
Yes.
Import a lot of Somalians to open
You
up
can
daycares.
literally look
What's
at
the worst
the
thing that can happen?
You can look just like specifically for illegals. If you look at the industries that they most likely are going into, there's to the proportion of like job openings, there's not enough people. So yeah, and these are low skill
Wait,
jobs,
what?
by the way. Yes,
The
amount of
the jobs that they're competing with Americans are not sought after, like construction, blue collar.
If you look at the like top, I think it's like the top. If you look at the top 10 industries that immigrants are most likely to go, illegal immigrants are most likely to go into, there's less people than there are to take those jobs. So yeah. You just don't
'Cause
believe in
there's no
America.
incentive.
You just don't
Dude.
believe in American dream, right? You don't believe that somebody can come over here and make themselves better. You think that people are just going to
No.
be the way that they
Hold
are.
on,
Really?
hold on. We're not just skipping. We're
But
not
you
just
just said you
skipping
want to be
past that.
selective. You want people who are already perfect to come over here and be beneficial. You don't realize that people can become beneficial over
Now
time.
you're trying to steamroll. We're not just skipping past that. You said the problem with a field like construction is you're vastly undervaluing the job. You're giving it to people that get paid $2 an hour under the table. That's going to completely wipe away the
What do you
incentive
think the
for an
average wage
American
of an
wanting to
illegal
go.
immigrant is?
That's going to wipe away the incentive for an American wanting to go into construction when they're having to compete with people that work at $2 an hour.
You're at such a factual like basis. Like you're wrong. Like it's according to your
That
research, I think
doesn't disincentivize
the
people
average
from
amount that like an illegal
following
immigrant
that line
makes,
of work.
it's like 36,000 or like 38,000 per year. Right, that equates to about $17 an hour.
How do you know that?
Because Pew Research will do like surveys of people.
What
Of
Pew
legal
Research
immigrants.
Center? Okay, on
Like I don't
but
like what I don't
hold
like
on,
it's
hold
fine.
on,
Like
it's
I
so
agree.
disingenuous because it's impossible to track. They can estimate, but I've
Yeah,
known
what do you
illegal
think-
immigrants that work for $2 to $3 an hour. You would never know how much
Wait,
they work.
you just
It's paid
saying
under
that
the table.
our best estimate says it's more like 17. Like we can be. I agree with you. They get like paid less than American citizens. I don't know why you feel the need to
Vastly
lie
less.
about it.
And you're almost championing for corporations and big businesses to exploit this workforce that will work under the table, not pay taxes.
I'm actually
for a
advocating.
rate
I'm
that's not
advocating
even
for amnesty
survivable.
so that these. I'm not advocating for amnesty so these people can have some kind of protections from getting exploited. But I also understand that. Then that, by the way, that was concern trolling, right? That these people are actually better off here than they are in their home country. Like for fuck's sake, of course. Like the average immigrant,
especially right now, that's such a bad argument.
Is the average immigrant from Honduras better off here or in Honduras?
Oh, financially speaking, here.
Oh yeah, okay. So what you call exploitation is really just a better living situation for them and their family, right? So like,
We can't
when
bring in the entire world.
so when
Well,
people are like,
look,
oh my god, they get exploited. It's so bad. They don't, and they're like,
Scratch.
look, we need to deport them back to where they came from. They're better off here. We all know that. Like, it's just a bullshit
Scratch.
argument.
95% of the world is better off in America than where they are.
Cool. Then why do you complain about them being? Why do you?
95% of the world. Therefore, we have to be selective with who
Do
we
you think
take
my
in.
wait? Do you think the argument I was making there is that we should take in everyone, or that you were concerned trolling and the exploitation doesn't matter since they're better off here anyways? Because it was a second argument.
Well, my argument is, and what I think is more important is,
Oh my
you
god, bro! Lock in,
cannot
little gup.
it's just kind of like it's almost virtue signaling in a sense, because I've heard this argument before, and you're saying like these people just want a better life, like blah blah blah, they just want to work
Yeah, no
hard.
shit.
Great. I'm not saying that they're coming over here just looking to like start unaliving people, but I'm saying every almost 90, I'd guess 95% of the world would be better off in America. That we can't have that in America. We can't just import a billion people. We can't
I
import,
agree.
you know,
We
2
can't.
million people a year like we did under Biden. We have to say what process are we going to go move forward with so that we don't turn into a third world country and piss
There
through
needs
all
to
our
be an
resources.
wait. I don't. Why do you keep saying turn into a third world country? I don't know why you keep saying that. I agree. There needs to be
That's
some.
what happens when you
I
import the
agree.
third world.
Really? Did
Yes.
America turn into a third world country when we imported people from Ireland? I don't remember that happening.
That's not a third world country.
It was a third world country when we were taking them in the most.
Oh, you're referring to like 400 years ago? I'm referring
Yeah,
to
during
in
the Irish
2000
potato famine.
I'm refer-
Yeah. Compare. They
I'm
were a third world
referring
country
to
compared to us during that, and we
everyone
were
was a third
perfectly
world
fine.
country back then. Everyone
Wait,
was.
do you think Ireland was? Wait, do you think somebody was better off in Ireland or here during the Irish potato famine? Huh. I
Every
think
single
that though
country?
it's and they
Well,
turned out
hold on.
perfectly fine. It's almost like just because you come from a shitty country doesn't mean that you're just inherently gonna be shitty. It's almost like people can change. But you obviously don't believe that because you don't believe in American dream and you don't believe in American values. And that's fine. You can just say it. You don't believe in the fact that people come over here and better. I believe what those people believe back then. You can come here, you can become better, you can and provide for yourself, you can provide to your family, and everybody can build a stronger America together. And those
Right.
people can become
The
Americans.
problem is, for example, bringing someone over here that doesn't speak English, like low skilled labor, pretty much can just pick something up, put something down, but needs translated to even do that. The cost risk analysis, comparing that to somebody like a software engineer from India with a master's degree, that's the kind of situation we're dealing with. That's not to say that they both can't, that the low skilled labor can't improve himself and get better, or herself. But if you're doing a risk analysis on which one you should take in, I'm taking the software engineer from India with a master's degree,
I
because
think
we have millions of people sitting in line waiting to get in that have valuable skills that are being dragged down by the overloaded system of illegal immigrants, especially now that we have,
that makes no
according to
sense.
Pew Research
That
Center,
makes no sense.
according to Pew Research Center, we have 15 million undocumented immigrants that we're having to spend resources
That's not
on.
true.
You're going against Pew Research, the golden standard.
Pew Research is unauthorized. If you look at the definition that Pew Research provides for unauthorized, it's like it includes like, people on
Undocumented
TP.
illegal
Huh?
immigrants.
No, they say unauthorized immigrants. Look at the source.
What's your definition of unauthorized?
It's their definition.
People overstayed visas and entered
It would
the
include
continental
illegal
US
immigrant.
illegally?
Yes, it would include illegal immigrants, but it also includes people on like TPS, parole, status, and asylum seekers, which are all legal immigrants and people on legal status. So I think that's the best one to go off of. American Immigration Council is way better.
Okay, what do you estimate the number at yourself then? If
Like
you're going to
11
go
like,
against Pew
huh?
Research, what is your estimate?
Like 11 million.
Okay.
Maybe
Well, let's
okay.
call it 11 million. We're 11 million individuals in America that we're wasting our resources in. A lot of them probably came in from the Biden administration. 2 million Southern encounters every single year.
The
We're
majority of illegal
wasting our
immigrants came here.
resources.
The majority of illegal immigrants came
They're
here
going
from
through
like
the immigration court, and
1990
instead
to
of
2007,
the immigration
bro.
court,
It's
instead
been
of the
it's been
immigration-
11. It's been a million. It's been like 11 million since like 2007.
well, we're gonna get the updated numbers soon when the census comes out. It's hard to get. That's kind of where their estimates come from.
I
is the
don't like.
census,
Oh,
so.
the majority came from. Like that's not even true.
How
Like
many do you
6 or
think
7
came in
million.
under Biden?
True. Like 6 or
Wait,
7.
How many do you think came in under Biden?
Like 6 or 7 million.
You see no issue with that? over
Bro, I'm
over the
obviously
same
joking.
course
I'm
over the same
obviously,
course of
I'm
time.
obviously joking. I'm obviously joking.
We'll
Holy
take
shit.
it serious because
Huh?
this is serious for a lot of people.
Oh, yeah.
Over the same course of time that we
Sorry.
started allowing all these people in,
Sorry.
housing became grossly unaffordable. Housing prices went up by like 250%. The consumer
What are
price
we-
index on groceries rose by
What are we trying
30%.
to? Wait. The housing thing. You understand that like housing prices and population changes don't like correlate at all. Like for instance, California has consistently lost people for the past couple of years, but the housing price continues to go up. And if you look at the Fed and you track the housing prices on out of population changes, you can see that doesn't correlate whatsoever. Where you have massive dips in the populate, when you have massive dips in the price of housing, but the population will continue to go up.
Importing millions of people that have to live somewhere doesn't affect the price of housing?
Not that much, yeah. That's why I literally, yeah,
Okay.
absolutely. It's just true. Like, I'm sorry. Like, when you can look at states that consistently lose population and see that the housing prices continue to go up. It's because population changes in the U.S. have very little to do with the actual increase in price of housing.
So say we snapped our finger and 15 million people disappeared, were immediately deported, but that wouldn't have any effect on the housing?
I don't think it would have a huge effect, yeah, unironically.
So millions of houses immediately go on the market, bringing the housing shortage from sitting around 1.7 million
Not true.
houses or
Most
shortage.
most,
it goes
no, most
all the way
immigrants
up to
most
5
immigrants are in
million.
the rental market.
That doesn't okay.
And they
Every single
oftentimes
real
live in
estate, every
family
single real
homes.
estate guy, every single real estate expert would disagree with you on that. They say the number one thing that would help the housing shortage is deporting
Really?
11 million
Can you
illegal
show me that?
immigrants.
Show me, yeah. Show me like a meta-analysis, or show me like a literacy review from like economists
You
that say
can
like
look
the
it up.
number. Like say really, I can look it up. You have a study for that? Like I'm sure there's like a meta-analysis that says the number one issue of housing prices is immigrants. Can you? I'm
No,
sure
it's
you
a
can find that. Go
solution.
ahead.
It's
Go
a
ahead, find it.
solution. You deport 11 million people, you put a ton of houses
Oh,
on the
okay. We're just gonna
market.
run away from that claim real quick. That's the one we can't prove. Got it.
I'm not gonna sit back and forth with sources on you. And another reason why this is exhausting, because
No,
I could
look.
say something. I could say something like, "You deport 11 million people. I wave a wand, they're gone. Their houses go up on the market because no one lives there anymore." I'd say that's gonna solve the housing market shortage. And you're like, "Oh no, actually no, that wouldn't." It's like, okay, the
Yeah,
housing
and then I say
market
okay,
shortage.
and I say that wouldn't, because look at the
You're like, give
terrible
me a source
correlation
that
of look at
putting millions of houses on the market would. You
look
said,
at the
give me a source
and
that
then I
putting
say
millions of
look at
houses on the market
look at the
wouldn't help
correlation, and then I say
the housing
look at the
shortage.
correlation with the amount of population in the U.S. and the actual housing prices, and I say look at the fact that states like California consistently lose population, but the housing prices continue going up.
Do they
You can
lose
see-
population though?
Yes.
Because we haven't ran the census. Well, how would you know that?
States with their own population.
You tracked citizens leaving. You can't track the millions of people that came into sanctuary cities. I think the census. I think that's part of the problem is they're losing a ton of people. Hold on. There's no way for you to be clear on that because you're only tracking citizens that report their move to the DMV and the Bureau of Labor Statistics. You're not counting the millions of undocumented immigrants.
Do you know how this was
5 years that aren't
calculated?
counted in the census.
Do you know how the metric I'm using was calculated? Do you even know the source I'm using?
What is it?
Oh my god! Why would you say that if you don't even know what source I'm using? Come
No,
on,
I'm
bro.
I'm not citing
U.S.
your
net
source
migration
right
trends here, macro
Hold on.
trends.
You know, I'm not citing your source right now. I wasn't even looking at my screen.
You're making claims about the fact that like the source I'm using doesn't
No,
include.
I'm telling you.
You
How
literally
do you know
said that.
a ton
You
of
said
people,
until the sentence that we couldn't know that because it would include illegal immigrants.
How do you
So
know
how
that
could you possibly know
California
that?
is? My question to you was, how do you know that California is losing a shit ton of people right now?
Because I can look at the data.
The census hasn't been ran. It's not ran until 2030.
I'm looking at the data right now.
What data shows you how many people live in each state?
It says net change in migration. I'm looking at it right now.
What? That's legal migration. That does not. There's no way for
No,
them
it's all
tracking
migration. It's from.
How do they track illegal How do they track illegal migration? They don't report
It's
with the
from
Bureau
all-
of Labor Statistics. They don't report the DMV when they update their address.
This is from the Fred.
You're skewing people that change their address legally with the
Wait,
government.
how do you wait? Do you know how the Fred
Do
you know how the Fred calculates this data?
Legal address changes.
How do you know that?
There's no other way to track it.
Really? They couldn't do things like surveys to find out where people live, like the
Oh my
BLS
God.
does on a state level? That's impossible for them to do.
It's not going to be
You're
accurate
just
to the level
assuming
that
the
census is gonna
methodology
be.
of something you've never read, bro. Come on.
Dude, it's not going to be accurate to the level the census
You
is. You're
don't know
claiming
that. You're just
you're
saying shit. You don't wait. You
I
literally
no,
just
I know
wait, wait,
for
wait, 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 wait. You didn't know
is
what
there no
source I was
reason we do
using.
the
You didn't
census?
know. You didn't know what source I was using, and you started making claims about the methodology. Just admit that.
Dude, I wasn't even looking like I said
Yeah,
again, I
you
wasn't
weren't
even looking
looking.
at
That's
my
my
screen.
point. You didn't know the source I was using, and you didn't.
I was
And you
making
started
my
making
own
claims about the
claim. I
methodology.
wasn't
You
I was
said that the
making my
data
own
that I
claim.
was using to say that California has lost population must be off of like residency changes and driver's license when you didn't even know what source I was using, so you couldn't possibly know the methodology. Just admit that.
I wasn't referring to your
That was a
source for
giant
the
blunder,
fifth time.
bro. I'm sorry. You wait. Then what were you referring to when you said that the population
Because
data?
because I asked you how could you possibly know that California is losing population if we haven't ran the census, which includes illegal
Yeah, and then I
immigrants that
said
have been
that's,
going
and
to
then I
the
said that
sanctuary
states, and then I
cities
said that
for the
states,
past 5
and then I
years.
said that states can do their own population censuses, and then you right?
They can. That doesn't
Okay.
mean that they do.
And then I showed you the Fred data on it, and I put it on screen. Like I don't know why we're being so dumb. You're so dense, bro.
Oh my God. You want to know what Fred relies on?
Go ahead, bro.
The U.S. Census. I just looked it up. I said, "How you're over here arguing with me that like it's not based on the census." I just looked up. If anybody's watching wants to go, go look up how does Fred get their information on population, and it comes from the census.
Did you ask? Was it just for the entire population, dude?
This once again, it's so frustrating
Are you
talking a
serious?
subject with liberals. There's the only way that you can get a clear, accurate number of amount of people in a state is from the census. The census only runs once every 10 years. That's how we get not just estimates. You can estimate all day long. I'm talking about actual numbers. You're claiming that a ton of people left California, and I'm saying that makes sense because they're registering different addresses through the Bureau of Labor Statistics, BMV, DMV. But you don't know until the census comes around what the population of California, if it goes up or down, because that's what actually counts everyone, not just legal citizens, not just people who have driver's licenses, not just people that actually update their documentation with the government. The census goes door to door and asks how many people are in this house.
When you say it cites the census, are you saying for the total population, or are you saying for the individual states?
I literally just typed in what does Fred get its data from, and it comes from the U.S. Bureau of the Census.
Oh, okay. Wait, no, they do yearly population estimates too. Okay, that makes sense.
It's an estimate, but you don't actually know because undocumented immigrants aren't just out here
No shit.
reporting their moves.
Oh, okay.
They're
That,
that's the whole reason
but
why they're called
the
undocumented.
population estimates would be off of the
I think
20
that's a real
the
big reason why you're
population the
seeing sanctuary
population the
cities
population
reel
estimates
people in.
the population estimates would be off the household surveys, which don't discriminate on like legal status. So that
Correct.
okay, so it would include legal and illegal migrants.
The household
So
surveys,
the estimates, yes.
it's an estimate. It's
So
not. It's not
okay, the s so that
concrete like the census,
okay,
and
is
it could
that
be wrong. I think we're
it
going to
could
see
be
the
wrong. Wait,
2030 census. I think
wait,
we're going to see the 2030 census come
are you
around
just
and see
denying
that
like all?
actually.
Do you think that all? Wait, do you think that like when studies or like economists say like this thing had an effect on the economy, that they're looking at literally every single data, or they're like taking like certain economic indicators and a big enough sample size and then generalizing that to the population usually?
Yeah, they're doing detailed review, but that's
Yeah, like
funny
the
you mentioned
CP,
that.
like the CPI
It's
is
funny you
generalizing to the
mentioned that.
population. So like you're gonna
It's
take the
fun.
twenty
It's funny
thousand,
you
you're gonna take
mentioned
like
that
the
because
twenty
the
thousand
two
people per,
people,
you're gonna take like the 20,000
the
people per month, and then you're gonna generalize it to the population. That's how statistics works. Not every no, most
the
studies don't
two
have,
jobs that are
huh?
wrong the most option the two jobs that are wrong the most often is meteorologist and economist. And the economists will tell you themselves there's a very high chance that they'll be wrong because they're just estimating here. They don't know the future. They don't have real concrete data to go off of. And that's what I'm trying to tell you. You're going off of Fred.
I'm not talking about
You're going off of
estimations.
Fred, but it's estimates.
I'm not talking. Wait, those are two different things. Meteorologists are estimating meteorologists and like economists are going to be estimating the future, but they both, when it comes to actually knowing what the temperature is right now, they're going to be taking like a limited set of data points and then using that to make averages and then saying like what the temperature is in any given area. But obviously they can't measure the temperature of every place at once. That's how fucking data works. That's how we get these numbers. No shit. I'm not talking about the population estimates of the future. I'm talking about the population and what they think it is now. That doesn't even make any sense. Like, do you know? Are you serious?
Okay, I'm gonna lay it out real clear here. So Fred, I just went in further into it to look at how Fred determines its data on migration. Fred uses IRS tax returns, driver's license, address, Medicare record, Social Security records. All the data that you just cited will not have undocumented immigration tied into it.
But I didn't cite migration. I cited population changes.
You're saying no. I'm saying population changes as well. That population changes is how they estimate
but
that.
You just said how they cited migration, not how they cited population changes.
Okay, population change. They get their estimates based on citizens that actually update their documentation in the system, like driver's license, address changes, Social Security records, Medicare, all that stuff. Things that undocumented immigrants coming to sanctuary cities would not report on. They're not running door-to-door surveys like the census.
Let's see.
Every piece of data that the Fred tracks, or majority of their data that they track, would never show undocumented immigrants.
Data series, if you're looking, let's see. Current data of births, deaths, migration to calculate population, demographic components. Let's see.
That would be the only way
estimates are produced each. Wait, these are the.
That'd be the only way they could get those numbers without going door to door. Because undocumented immigrants don't tell you when they move addresses.
They don't go to. Okay, see, it provides comma separated. Where are you seeing this?
Oh, see.
We
could have just ended this. We could have ended this 10 minutes ago with common sense, saying Fred would not, like I said when I started, Fred would not be able to tell if undocumented immigrants are coming in and out until they run the census. You're saying yes they can, and I'm saying no they're not. And now we went into the details, and every single piece of data that Fred is pulling from is documented individuals stating their move through some database.
Begins the most recent each vintage. If they're using IRS forms, that would include undocumented, because undocumented immigrants oftentimes have ITA.
What, 1% of the undocumented immigrants that file taxes?
Just have an ITIN to fill out like for the employer.
That's probably less than 5% of undocumented immigrants pay taxes with an ITIN. There's only 5.5 million active ITIN numbers, and 90% of them are green card holders, H-1B visas, legal residents.
Yeah, they do household surveys. Households receive innovations to complete census online by mail or phone. Non-response follow-up, proxy responses.
That's the census. They don't run that. They don't run that every year. It's once every 10 years. We won't know that answer until 2030.
That's how even BLS calculates it. They do like a limited amount of household surveys each month.
It's not going to give you an accurate number.
But it would include illegal immigrants.
There's a reason why we run the census, right? There's a reason why we run the census.
Bro, unless you're just denying all of statistics, the only way you can do is by denying literally all the statistics in like all studies ever. The census is unique in the fact that it like tries and gets every single person in the United States. Almost any other data set is relying on like enough people that they can make a generalization to the population. Do you think like any medical study that looks at that like any study is going to be looking at like Well, probably a sample size of above 1,000 people, and then making a generalization to the population off of that. They're never going to be literally looking at every single person in the population to make claims. That's unrealistic. That's why sample sizes are even a thing.
I'm seeing right here. Fred themselves say when they're trying to account for the undocumented population, they said this is likely a highly underreported number due to undocumented immigrants.
Yeah, the U.S. Census conducts 100 surveys each year, including our largest nation's household survey. The American Community Survey. The top 5 surveys are listed to find more information. So they do one every single year.
So Fred, like I said, now they actually have it in their own words. They said their estimate of undocumented their estimate of undocumented population is likely highly underestimated because of the undocumented population refusal to participate in said programs. So they are saying themselves, and you're like arguing that their number's super accurate. They are saying themselves that the numbers they're reporting is likely highly inaccurate in the sense of the undocumented population. They refuse to have any contact with the government, which once again, that's why it's exhausting to talk to liberals. It's common sense. Undocumented immigrants don't respond to surveys. They don't even they avoid the government at all costs because they're subject to deportation.
Then how okay, you know what, fine, let's ignore all the data. Then how can you say that these people are increasing housing costs at all if you can't even know the population of them in the United States? How can you say that Biden let in a whole bunch of illegals if you don't even know what the population of illegal immigrants is?
Well, we know how many people they encounter at the southern border, and we know
encounters once again, encounters are expulsions and apprehensions, and expulsions and apprehensions could literally one, expulsions are a literal form of deportation, and 2, apprehensions could be a form of deportation or a form of legal migration. So how the fuck do you know that number?
How do I know the number?
Like, unless you want, like, fine.
That's
congrats.
Kind of the
no, congrats. You can say, fine, the number's highly inaccurate.
Listen,
every single argument you could make makes no sense then. Go ahead.
That's one of the problems with undocumented immigration, and Pew Research cites this as well. It's very hard to track just how many.
Then if you can't claim that undocumented immigration is a huge problem in our country, if you don't even know how many are in the country then, and you say we don't have good estimates.
We know it's at least in the tens of millions.
How do you know that?
You yourself said it's 11 million.
You said my numbers are wrong. Those are just estimates, apparently, as you would say.
Those are conservative estimates. We're saying
those are estimates.
It's likely much higher.
Those are estimates.
Conservative estimates.
Those are just estimates, once again, as you keep saying.
They're conservative estimates.
How are they conservative estimates?
Because every single agency that tries to report on the undocumented population says this is likely highly underreported.
Why are they saying that?
They're saying this is our best estimate that we can get based on the information that we have.
Okay.
Because they don't interact with the government at all. They're undocumented.
Okay, so these are the okay. So for our arguments, are we going to go off of the best estimates and say the population probably went down, or are we just going to ignore all of the data in general? What are we going to do in this conversation? Because either I'm throwing out all the data and I'm going to say you're not allowed to make any claims about undocumented immigrants being a huge problem, or we can say that yes, we can use those estimates and say that the population went down.
That's not my argument at all. My original argument was, we have a housing shortage in America. We just imported millions of people, undocumented immigrants, into this country. That certainly has an effect on the housing shortage.
You said that certainly has an effect, and then I said that population, and then I said that population increase.
Supply and demand.
Yes. Okay. And then
I and then I said you add millions more people to America. They have to live in some house.
And then I said, well, we can look at states like California and see that their population, the total amount of population has gone down, even though the price of housing has increased. And you said, well, the estimate is bad because it doesn't include legal and legal immigrants. And I was like, okay. And I said, okay, well, if that's the base, and I said, okay, if the data is bad and they're just estimates, then how can we say there's a bunch of people coming here in the first place that would push up housing prices? And then you said they're conservative estimates. So I'm asking you, are we using the conservative estimates to make this claim, or are we just gonna throw them out in general? Give your answer.
So that's
because either you're gonna say it's a wrong. You can't use the data, And then your argument makes no sense because we can't say that these people are coming here and pushing up housing prices, or we're saying we can't use the data.
That's not what I'm saying at all.
Then what are you saying?
What I'm saying is,
All right, hold on.
You
No,
said there was a
average,
ton of
average,
people
average,
coming in
average,
from
average,
or
average,
leave.
average,
There's a ton of
average,
people
average,
leaving
average,
California.
average.
Dude,
Shut the
wait
fuck
your
up.
time. Wait
Just
your
give him a
turn.
sec,
I'm
just give him a
responding
No,
to
I
the
need to
host.
tell Scratch
Just
something.
wait,
Scratch,
just give him a
Wait
sec.
your
Scratch. It's a
turn, dude. Let me get
Scratch.
this out.
Scratch. It's
Why are you
Among Us
coming in here
time.
and interrupting
Oh, it's
the
Among Us
entire
time. Okay. No,
conversation?
just let,
It's
okay.
Among Us time.
Fine,
Yeah.
fine. Average guy, go ahead. Yeah, what?
My problem with this whole topic of conversation was you're saying that, which for one is crazy that we're even talking about the fact that more people in a country doesn't, or in a state doesn't increase the cost of housing, supply and demand. Like that's economics 101. For two, you told me, well, how could that be true when we're seeing the population of California decrease? And you quoted Fred,
Right.
which we just learned that they said themselves they massively underreport on the undocumented population. And my whole argument was sanctuary cities are replacing the people leaving the legal, the documented
How
individuals
can you make
leaving
that
their
claim
country
if you said the
with
estimates are bad?
undocumented immigrants. We're seeing hundreds of
How can you
thousands of
make that
people
claim?
going
How
to
can
these
you make that
sanctuary
claim?
cities.
How can you make that claim if you say the estimates are bad?
They're conservative. I think they're likely much higher. Like when we say 15 million, Pew Research says 15
How
million
can you?
undocumented. You say
Those
11
once
million.
that's
I think it's
once
more
again
like 30
it's
million. I think it's more
unauthorized,
like
which
40
includes legal
million.
immigrants. So you can't use that number. I already went over this. If you look at the definition, it includes people on TPS, temporary protective status, people who are paroled in the country, and asylum seekers. That's not a good source to go off of. I guess it would also include people here on like the convention of under the Convention of Torture or whatever, but and refugees too. It would include all of those people.
An underreported version of all those people.
An underreported version. So can we go off the estimates, or can we not go off the estimates?
I'm saying if you're going to take the estimates as the literal truth, I think that you should reconsider based on what Fred said.
Here,
Like if you're
I'll
if you're
reconsider
trying, if you're
based
trying,
on what Fred said, right? So I want to respond to number one. You said that it doesn't make sense that the housing price would continue to go up if the population decreased. Housing prices can go up to other factors other than population increases. Number one.
correct.
So we just say that argument would just be saying that population increases is, and this is my original argument, don't have a huge effect on the price of housing, which is probably
It's the
true.
number one effect. When
really?
a lot
It's
of
the
people
number
want
one
to move
effect. And
to a
what's your
certain
data?
area,
What's your data of that?
what do you think the number one effect is on housing
I
prices
don't.
in a market?
Probably interest rates. What's your data on that?
Okay,
And the fact that people want housing
that's
prices to go
I'm
up
talking about a
because
controllable factor. When a lot of people move into a town, the price of that property
a
drastically
controllable
increases.
factor. What is that? What's a controllable factor? Interest rates are a controllable factor, I guess, because the Fed controls the federal funds rate, which means that they can long term have an effect on housing rates. What does a controllable factor mean? Are you just saying words now?
Okay, so I just got it once again. It's exhausting talking to liberals. I just looked up number one cost of rising housing prices to a local area. Stated the number one factor of driving up real estate to an area is limited housing supply coupled with high demand. When you import a ton of people into a city, that is going to
Where did you get
spike
that from?
demand drastically. That is straight up from Zillow.
From Zillow?
Zillow is like the leading researcher on the real estate market in America.
Zillow's the leading researcher?
Yes, 100%. Who tracks the real estate market closer than Zillow?
Uh, it's a leading
What
website,
other
that's
fact?
for
What other
sure.
factor? what other factor than limited housing supply and coupled with high demand would you think
Interest rates and
drastically?
homeowners, and the fact that homeowners want the price of housing to go up because it's their long term investment, and they're literally incentivized for that to happen. Okay.
I mean, that's not even true either. If
That's
interest
really
rates,
wait.
hold
So
on,
if you buy a house, you
hold
don't
on.
want the price of it to go up.
If interest rates go up, then the price of the housing goes down.
Did I say that interest rate going upward were the cause?
But it's kind of a moot point because it's like a teeter scale where you lower the interest rate, prices increase. You higher the interest rate, prices decrease. That's not a real factor contributing to the real price of housing going up like we saw over the past 5 years.
That could be a real factor if interest rates are low. And once again, how homeowners are incentivized to keep housing prices up because it's a long term investment oftentimes. That's the point. Oh,
Okay, so your argument, you're arguing against Zillow, saying that it's not limited housing coupled with high demand. It actually has a lot to do with interest rates. You're going against Zillow on that. People who research the real estate market in America for a living, they label that as their top reason. And you say, no, actually, I know better. It's interest rates. It has nothing to do with importing millions of people into the continental U.S.
yeah.
How big of a
What
surely you
causes
admit
what
surely you'll
causes
admit that
prices to be so
that it is some
expensive?
sort of a factor. Surely you'll admit
Okay.
that it is some sort of a factor, correct?
Although the
Or
pace,
you're actually going to take the stance that it doesn't make any difference.
well, I would take the stance that number one, like I don't. Okay, this is actually this would be a good argument. I don't know if, like I don't know why we use Zillow number one because like illegal
They're the leading
immigrants.
researcher of the
Do you
real
think
estate
illegal
market in
immigrants
America.
are typically in the rental market or typically in like the real estate market or typically in
Rental.
like okay, so I don't know if Zillow is going to be the best thing because I think they're usually looking at
Dude,
like homes.
the
What?
cost of a housing rentals affects the cost of housing as well. If somebody owns the house.
Do you think immigrants are renting houses or likely renting apartments?
Oh my god, bro.
Or what?
Okay.
Oh gosh, yeah. Okay, that's a bad question to ask. Never
They
mind.
rent both. They rent both.
I'm sure they rent both. I'm guessing they're renting apartments more. That's the point. Like homes are often. I'm pretty sure homes are more often owned or rented, or they're like Airbnbs. Isn't that the huge thing these days?
So now your argument has went to illegal immigrants actually only stay or they
I think
primarily
the
stay
first
in
argument
apartments so they
still stands, right? California population decreased, housing prices increased.
I don't think we're going to see that in the census. When
Well,
we get a better
the best estimates that we have currently say that it decreased and the housing prices
the best
increased.
estimates that validate my point that the
Right.
undocumented
The best
population
estimates validate your point when the population of
no
California
no
decreases, but the housing prices increase. That
I'm
confirms your
saying
point.
I'm saying the the estimates you use that validate my point that they underreport on the undocumented population,
Underreporting.
which I said was the leading factor of why I don't think the population of California is actually going to decrease. Like I think
Some underreporting doesn't mean that the entire estimate is off. By the way, once again, if you're saying that these are the best estimates that we have, then the best estimates would lead to my point.
typically that'd be true. Typically that'd be true, but I think this is a weird scenario where we just had record levels of undocumented immigration into
But
this
you
country.
don't know that.
I do. I
Oh.
do. Over the past 4 years, Biden set records of Southern encounters.
You
at the
know,
border,
we already
at the
went over
southern
encounters. So like this is the problem with this conversation. So we went over encounters. We know that's wrong, right? We went over.
border. We know that's wrong.
Yes, I literally told you why encounters aren't a good reason. Do I need to repeat myself? We went over why the P Research estimate
Wait,
is wrong.
encounters are the biggest indicator of illegal immigration into our country.
Where are you getting that from?
That's the biggest metric. What other metric would you say is better than Southern
The
encounters?
DHS's own estimates of the illegal population,
What do they base that off of?
the census and changes.
No, they do no. They base their reports that they put on a quarterly basis on Southern encounters. That's
Really?
the number one.
Then why wasn't there a huge spike in the 2022 estimate?
What?
Why wasn't there a huge spike in their 2022 estimate then?
Of illegal immigration?
Yes.
What was that when the southern border encounters spiked as well?
Southern border encounters started to go up in like early 2021.
So southern border encounters went up, and DHS released a report that said illegal immigration didn't go up as well. That's what you're saying?
It went up like 100,000 in
Okay,
2022.
so it did.
Yeah.
Okay, I gotta go get Chipotle.
Wait, do you
I
think
think you gotta go play
100,000
ball.
is the millions you're talking about compared to the encounters?
I was referring to millions over the course of 4 years.
my
You're
fucking
referring to
God.
100,000 over the course of a quarter or a month.
They started going up like before. They started going up in the months of 20.
What did their
22.
report cover? What time frame did their report cover?
It's like 18 to 2022.
It covered 4 years.
Yeah. It wouldn't correlate though because the encounters started going up way before then, or sorry, going up
Well,
towards the tail end.
I'm saying if you would have actually slid the window down to the applicable time frame, which would be the 2021 to
No, the time frame
2022
is the
when
data
illegal
that you said you
immigration
know
was
the
a problem.
methodology. Wait, how do you not know the
Dude,
time frame
so
of the
look-
data that you said the methodology you know of?
No, I'm saying you're quoting something that's counting like the tracking of illegal immigration. You're comparing 1 year to a period of 4 years where we had COVID and had no one entering the border. That's the biggest flaw that I'm seeing in what you're presenting
What?
to me.
What are we talking about? We had no.
So you're
Wait,
saying
encounters were massive under COVID. What are we talking about?
No, they weren't.
What?
They're just about like nothing. We had Title 42.
Yeah, Title 42 massively increased encounters.
Well, afterwards it did.
Title
but
42 is included in
during
encounters. You
COVID-
understand that?
During
Do you?
COVID, we closed our border. We didn't allow anyone.
Wait, COVID is when we started to really see it go up.
That was right after. We closed our borders during COVID. We had basically zero.
Maybe I'm.
We had
Am I going
basically
insane
no one
here? Is
entering.
am I going insane here? Or is that like not what I'm seeing like right here?
Look! It literally
Wait,
plummeted.
there's a giant spike.
That was after. That was Biden. Or wait, what does that say?
This would be Trump. Okay, I can get an up close version. Let me find this. This is the one that it's the fucking Republican one. No, we're gonna use the bullshit Republican one. You can literally even the bullshit Republican one. You can literally see like they label it Title 42 is implemented and the encounters massively spike.
I'm reading.
Title 42 is implemented in the encounters
Look,
massively
COVID.
spike.
Look, see, COVID. You had like record lows of southern encounters of illegal immigration.
What am I looking at?
What is this that you're looking at?
This is the encounters. Title 42 is implemented here in March of 2020.
That's why I'm saying if what you quoted from DHS is counting 4 years, which includes COVID, which had record low southern encounters, it's flawed.
Was March of 20 wait, maybe like my mind's going insane here. Was March of 2022 sorry, it was March of 2020, sorry, COVID?
Yes.
Did we see a massive spike in encounters in March of 2020?
No.
What am I looking at right here? Am I looking at a massive spike in March of 2020 if a border encounter is going up?
You're not looking at that. Point to March 2020 on that picture.
Right here, it's literally fucking labeled. I can try and zoom in.
That is not a spike. That's a record low.
This is where it's implemented, March 2020, and then it spikes.
Right. Okay. I see the confusion. What
So
I'm saying
during
is
COVID, when Title 42 was implemented because of COVID, Title 42 was implemented, and we see a massive spike in border encounters. What are we talking about?
Okay, I'll clear it up for you. So I'm saying your quote of the DHS report on illegal immigration from 2018 to 2022 is flawed when you're counting the significant decrease of COVID when we closed our border.
We saw more border encounters when we implemented Title 42,
Dude,
which you
no,
said was
we
closing the
didn't.
border. Then why was there a massive spike in encounters after Title 42 was implemented, dumbass?
I'm talking about during Title 42.
During
Like that valley,
Title 42 was implemented in March of 2020.
that valley that you saw should not be counted
Why?
in the report because we closed our borders due to COVID.
And then, okay, you're trying to say that border encounters are a good indication of illegal migrants coming across the border.
Yes.
You're also trying to say that our borders closed
by
because
the
of
way, I'm
Title
not saying that.
42.
Every single
Even
expert says that.
though we saw after Title 42 was implemented, we saw a massive spike of encounters, the one that everybody criticizes Biden for. That makes no sense. Please square that with me real quick.
Let me first just level with you. So you're saying that the metric of southern encounters at the southern border is not an indicator of illegal immigration
Yes.
coming into the U.S.?
Absolutely.
That's what you're saying?
Yes.
Okay. All right. Well, then I don't have time to.
It literally says right. It
Debate
literally
against
says
that.
right here. 27 to 26 of all border encounters are literally repeat crossers. That's what Pew Research estimated.
Yep, that's still illegal immigration.
But we're trying to know the total population. So if they're repeat crossers,
that-
this wouldn't be a good indication, now would it?
Dude, but that.
Oh my
that's always
god! Because
stays
we're
the-
talking
that always
because we're
stays the
double
same.
counting the same person. That would
Scratch.
be like double counting the same illegal immigrant. No shit, that would be a bad
Scratch.
data set then.
That
Can
always
we not
stays the
understand
same.
that?
That statistic always stays the same. 20% of southern encounters are always going to be repeat offenders, but when you have a higher amount of
No, they're
southern
not,
encounters-
because when you're doing specifically expulsions and you're sending people immediately back across the border instead of doing Title 8
still
apprehensions and then deporting them back to their home country, it's way easier for them to recross the border. Oh no, like this is so basic. Of course, you're gonna have higher repeat crossers when you implement Title 42. That's why we saw the spike during COVID after it was implemented. This is not a good data set to go off of. I don't. Oh my gosh,
I just
bro.
don't even know where to start. So
What
how do you measure?
Wait, what am I saying? It's
So
wrong.
how do you if you think southern encounters are not a good way to get idea of how many people are entering the U.S. illegally, where do you get your estimates from?
Huh? From the DHS.
And where do they get their estimates from?
From from the census.
Bullshit. They give out a yearly review. The census does not run that often. Dude, this is crazy. I've never had such a problem establishing norms in a debate before.
I never had such a
Never-
problem establishing norms either. Oh wow, I was right. 2018.
I know I
2022.
could imagine that to be the case for you because you're saying things like California's population is decreasing, but you're using studies that say themselves they're not accurately accounting for undocumented immigration.
Yep, I was right. Yep, they use the U.S. Yep, right here. Right here it says the U.S. Census.
Okay.
So, stop. No, I was just completely right. Just like, shut the fuck up, bro. Like, you're just wrong. They were using U.S. Census.
Yeah, but on an annual basis?
Up to 2022, yeah. That's the last time we had one of these reports.
Yeah.
And
I just
yeah, let
don't
me
see how
find
you
the
could
graph,
use-
and you can literally see it said almost exactly the same to 2022. Even though we saw huge spikes in border encounters into 2022, which literally makes no sense if we're trying to say that estimates inform that these border encounters inform the estimates that DHS uses. So you were just wrong on every level there.
Yep.
You
You
were.
got it.
Are you denying that you were?
No, you're right on everything.
No, wait. What's wrong here?
All right,
I'm
I
showing
gotta
you.
go
Here's
get
the
my- I gotta
here's
get
the
my
estimate.
Chipotle.
Oh my fucking god!
You got it, bro.
Actually, unalive yourself. I want to unalive myself.
Man, that was pitiful.
What was
Yeah, I guess
pitiful?
you're just right about everything, and I'm just wrong then, huh? Yeah.
Yeah,
Uh-huh.
literally, quite
Yeah.
literally. Yeah.
Like this, like
I guess I'm just
whatever. Do whatever you
wrong
want
on
then.
everything. I guess you
I
just
guess I'm just
won.
wrong about everything then, huh? Like, bro, you are not my girlfriend, or you are not like an insecure girlfriend, bro. You can't just win like that. Like, the strat doesn't. It might work with your wife. I don't know if it work. It's not gonna work here. Sorry, my bad. Assuming that guy had a wife.
Oh my god, bro.
That was funny. I tuned in for like the last couple seconds, and I already knew it instantly how the whole debate went. Man, I would lose my mind if I did this, bro. Never in a million years. How's YouTube chat faring?
It's better.
I found a fusion simulator on Roblox.
I don't know. What am I doing here? Q.
Oh, did you just disable chat?
Huh? No, chat's enabled.
Oh, my browser's being stupid.
Okay. What's up, y'all? I agree. Audi not cool. True. California population is increasing. Hi, twin. Hello, twin.
Do you think they're actually going to be able to get rid of Section 230?
Section 230. What's that again?
Basically the law that says you companies can't be held liable for hold on.
Oh, yeah, they're
The
not
law that
considered
says companies
publishers.
can't be held liable for
They're not
what's on their
considered
platform.
publishers, so therefore they can't be held liable.
Yeah.
I doubt. Maybe, I doubt it. Hopefully they aren't. Y'all should totally become members on my channel to get access to exclusive content and like subscribe or whatever.
I'm racist, so I'm not gonna do it.
Good point.
Does sarcasm mean that he is defeated? Pitiful behavior. I mean, who are they talking about? They're talking about you, or are they talking about the other guy? Ooh, Bunger 24 hit you with a zinger.
I hate the housing conversation. I'm never having it again.
Oh, did you have a
Got
housing
super
conversation?
asinine about like the Fred data, and then said it wasn't using household surveys, and it was using household surveys, and he said, well, they said that it doesn't estimate the population of illegals, and I was like, oh my gosh, bro, like I can't, like, can I use any data ever? And it says you could only use the U.S. Census, and I was like, this is not how data works, bro, because everything's an estimate. It's like say
so
like
you're just estimating, so we can't trust it because you're just estimating.
estimating. I can't. Like, that would literally just be denying every. That would just be. I was like, that's just denying every study ever. Right? Because if you're saying that if you're just saying like only if you're looking at the entire population, any study that's trying to like take an average from the population.
That's literally the exact same logic as saying like, oh, well, you just did the physics experiment and you're saying you have a result, but you haven't checked all of physics to see if that holds true. Therefore, it's untrustworthy. Like, it's the exact same logic.
You say that gravity exists, but have you checked all everywhere?
Have you been to I don't know. And then Paul just like I give you like a random longitude latitude coordinate.
Can you definitively say that gravity works here?
But yeah, no, it's just people are just stupid.
Are we heading towards a housing market collapse because Trump's going to deport so many people? Yeah.
You just got hit with a massive zinger. California internal migration is negative. California net population change is positive. How accurate were those polls that said that there was no way Trump would win in 2016? I mean,
the data that I was looking at was saying that the population was total population went negative during COVID, and housing prices continue to go up. It's going up now though. So actually, L, you didn't know the argument I was making. Try next time, Chud.
Chud.
Who's this Nikki guy?
Oh, that guy. He was sitting in. He joined the call, and I was already on. So every single time I forget to
You're on.
leave the Discord channel whenever I join the call. So I'm just like,
Go into friendlies right now. Go update that for a sec.
I'm going into friendlies. Okay.
Yeah. Nikki, what's up? Nick, what's up?
I don't know where to go for friendly.
You're friendly?
Oh, no, I'm not.
Well, then why are you? Okay.
Hello?
Okay. Okay, you're not friendly. Okay, hello. What do you disagree with?
No, I thought you were saying to go to friendly.
No,
No,
what
I'm a
do you
Trump
disagree with?
supporter.
Okay.
Okay.
Why?
Because he's deporting immigrants.
Oh, did you
Okay.
live on
He's
TikTok?
supporting immigrants illegally though. And that's not good.
Hold up. I need to turn down my game volume.
Doing illegal
I need to
deportations.
leave this game.
Illegal deportations are bad.
Bro, that's chud behavior. Leaving the game.
You guys should like
No,
totally super chat.
it's not a true gaming soldier.
He's gonna try and click back on this channel and not be able to do it and then just not rejoin.
Yeah,
Oh no, he did.
Oh wow.
I don't know what happened.
I'm low-key impressed.
Okay, so you support Trump. You think the deportation good. I think the deportations are bad. Who just left, bro? What?
That was rage bait. This W rage bait. If I were
Oh my god! Please don't kill yourself.
Whoa, bro, you can't say that. That's not nice.
Yeah, I'm not on TikTok anymore.
That's not very nice. I'm gonna start low-key agreeing with YouTube chat. Hold on. So if I say you suck,
No,
I get
Nikki.
blocked?
By the way, oh wait, I don't know if you. Nikki's getting banned after this. He's doing the AI shit.
What AI shit?
Nikki, number one.
Okay, I don't... Wait, why does it keep kicking me from the thing?
You, oh, this is such
Yo, bro,
rage
this guy
bait.
is not getting kicked. This guy is not getting
This
kicked.
you're not getting kicked, bro. You are
This guy
rage
is
baiting
not
me.
getting kicked. This
Stop
guy is
it.
not.
Stop it, bro.
I don't... It's
What
because
is
it's
it?
on X.
Why does this keep kicking me purple
on
from the thing? I
Xbox,
don't know
it's-
why.
No, it's
Purple
because
just
it's
keeps getting
on
kicked for
Xbox.
some reason.
Bro, why does he keep getting kicked?
I don't know.
Oh, he's leaving?
Oh, he's making fun of you. Sorry.
No,
He's
I'm not on a
Xbox, right?
phone.
Yeah, he's
That's
on
why.
Xbox.
I'm like on Xbox, so it does that. It like does that weird thing.
Yeah, I believe
Okay.
that Discord on Xbox is shitty.
You were
Okay.
mid-sentence.
So, yeah, no taking screenshots of AI and posting it in chat as sources. Okay, that's an automatic ban. My book.
Well, that's great. I'm pretty sure it probably wasn't AI. It probably was sourced. I mean, let's see.
That's-
Maybe it got it wrong because it's
Where is it?
yeah, I know. Yeah, it's AI, but I know
AI.
Google uses AI now.
Where?
It also has a indicator of the sources, but it does get things mixed up. So what?
Well, we can't check the sources because.
And
it's
that
not
supports
open.
what you said though.
That what?
Oh, I agree with it. Therefore, it must be true.
No.
Yes. Yes.
Okay. No. It was what he said.
If Scratch said it.
You were midstream and you made a statement, and that would support what you said.
No, I said they were more often to rent
Oh, well, I don't know.
apartments. So that was, I guess, what I said. But even if it was,
I don't know,
I would still make the same statement. Yeah.
It
that
doesn't
AI
even
stuff.
really matter it doesn't really matter because I think you weren't even talking about legal.
That's all right.
Okay, well, you were mid-sentence.
Yeah, I just said that like immigrants, the deportation happening currently seem to be a lot of them illegal or some illegal shit going on during them, like the Fourth Amendment violations, the Fifth Amendment violations, the Sixth Amendment violations. So that'd be my main contention with the Trump administration currently.
Oh, you think that like ICE is impeding on their what do you call it?
Rights,
Their due process?
due process, protection against unreasonable search and seizure, and right.
But
to
like, how many
attorney.
do you think came here? Like, don't you think that there should be like some kind of exception? Like, wouldn't you think that the founding fathers would be like, "Yo,
Nope.
this is way too many people"?
Nope.
Yeah, I mean
The founding fathers believed in
there's
the
so many-
inalienable rights. They wouldn't just say, "Well, those are too many people." Rights that are literally endowed to you by your existence should just not be followed. LMAO. No.
they're not being a doubt, and like they're not just being like I don't think they would support. I guess you can't. It doesn't really matter what you think, but I mean, a lot of people don't want these people here. I mean, I don't think the founding fathers would either.
Okay, but they would also I agree. And if you want to do deportation, that's fine. You just need to follow the law when you do it.
I mean but that would not be efficient though. You wouldn't be able to deport too many people
Why do you
if
want
you
to
were like
deport people in
giving
the
due.
first place?
Oh, wait, no, wait.
I mean, it creates less opportunity for the people here.
Less opportunity for the people here.
Bingo.
So you don't care about the law?
No, I don't think that's like a proper extrapolation from what I said. Like, cause like, oh, you don't
No,
care
it
about
seems
the
like
law.
you're willing to ignore legal standards or ignore people's constitutional rights if it's more efficient to deport them.
Oh, by the way, Scratch.
I mean,
I have an argument.
under certain circumstances, like we can give up some constitutional rights if it's if there's a decent explanation for why would you do that.
I don't think there is on any circumstance.
So you don't think that
where
any constitutional right can be breached?
It can be. It shouldn't be though.
I mean, do you think that we should give up security for during wartime or anything like let's say that during a war, or I guess you could call this an invasion, right? What was it? How many people have gone here?
Military invasion? No. I guess if you want to go
no, that wouldn't really be what I said.
When you say invasion, you mean a large amount
of
of people moving in here? If you want to go to the very basic definition of invasion, I guess the ants invaded my home when they came in. The leaves invaded my lawn each year. Fine, that's a very asinine
Oh,
way
it's
to
I wouldn't
define
say it's
invasion that
asinine,
doesn't asinine way to define invasion that definitely doesn't go to any kind of legal standard.
It doesn't go to a legal standard.
Yes, because when they talk about invasion,
30,
they're talking about invasion.
Wait, first, let's just define how many
invasion.
it's been. What, 30 million? How and what time frame?
30
What are we talking about? What time frame?
Maybe 100,000, 500,000 at most over the past 4 years.
No, I mean what time frame are we talking about though? Trump's administration, the past 5 years, or?
Well, we're talking 1990s to current day.
1990.
Yeah, 1990s.
So not until the original
1990s, 2007. So we saw the most amount of illegals come to the country.
How many immigrants have came here? I mean, it's not even just.
It got up to
illegal,
11 million.
Though.
That's
well, I guess ICE would be. If we're talking about ICE, it would be illegal. If we're just talking about ICE, but we're not.
Wait, we're talking about all immigrants?
Right.
Wait, so you're just against
There's
all
been a lot. Not necessarily, but if there's just a lot, if there's too many that the country can't support, yeah.
Okay.
Not
why do you think that?
Wait. Not oh, we can't have immigrants.
And why do you think that
wouldn't
our
really
country can't support the current amount of immigrants here?
I mean, I don't think that. I mean, it could, but then it would be to a detriment of the middle class or whatever, whoever's working.
Why do you think it's a detriment? It's a detriment currently.
Because it decreases the amount of opportunities that an actual person that was here for a longer time, right? Because I guess technically everyone's American, but the person that was here that preceded that immigrant would probably.
So you're saying they're taking certain jobs that Americans could be getting, right?
Of what jobs? You had an
adjective
there. What was that?
They're taking jobs that Americans could get, correct?
Yeah.
You understand, if illegal specifically, the job industries that go in have more job openings than people currently within that labor force.
But there's also more people though.
Huh?
You add one, if you say, oh, there's more job openings, there's also more people to have those jobs, so that would kind of negate the point of them being more jobs. Because if you just added a business, you'd be like, yeah, business, more people can have a job, but there's also more people that need jobs.
There's more job openings and there are people to fill those job openings. That was the claim.
There's more job. Okay, so immigrants, do you think that, okay, there's two sides to this. You could say an immigrant comes here, immediately starts a business at a higher rate than the Americans are, right? There's two things, but there's also multiple things going on. We could get into that with if you have a business that isn't ran by an immigrant and they're already here, Americans that are here hiring immigrants at lower wages than the people that they don't have to pay them the people here as much or whatever.
I made this very useful table if you want to look at it. It looks at the unemployed in each industry compared to the amount of job openings for
I don't have a phone
for the top 10 undocumented jobs. If you look at the screen,
what does it show and how does it?
These are the top. These are the top jobs that illegal immigrants are in, and it looks at the job openings.
What is it?
It looks at the unemployed compared to the amount of job openings. And then if you look right here, the total, there's more job openings than there are unemployed
Yeah, the
people in
phone.
that industry. For the majority of jobs that illegals go into. So as a whole,
Where?
huh?
Where?
Look at the bottom at the total.
Bottom where though? Like where's the bottom?
The-
Oh, stream.
I'm streaming at the
It
total.
doesn't let me watch the stream.
It doesn't let you
Hold
watch
up.
stream.
No, do you have it in like a picture on general? Like screenshot on general?
Wait,
I can't access the thing. It would I would
Yeah.
have to leave the thing for me to see it.
yeah, I can do that. I can put it inside chat.
Because I'm not. It's when you're not on the phone accessing the voice call. Like you have to exit everything out. You
It's
can't
inside
be on
chat.
voice call on the phone, on an Xbox.
I don't know if you can see side chat.
Side chat.
Yeah. It's a chat
Side
for the
chat.
stream. I can also put it in general if you need me to. The general text channel.
Yeah, I might do that.
Okay. So you see at the bottom there?
I don't know what that is.
So
I
these
can't
are
understand that.
Okay, so the first side is the total unemployed is for each category. These are like the top jobs illegal immigrants are in. Right? There's more up above on the next page. And this
Okay.
row, the first row you see is the total amount of the unemployed in each industry, and then the second row you see is the amount of job openings in each industry, and the last column you see.
That's not what
right?
I see here though.
What do you mean?
I see a table. I see I see 3 columns. You have all the jobs, and then you have what are these people or are these?
First column
These
is
are
the amount
people
of
that join
unemployed.
them.
The first column is the amount of unemployed.
Which is
people.
unemployed?
The first column after the jobs. The
Yeah.
middle column, and then
Unemployed
the second the
Okay.
second column is the amount of job openings, and in the bottom row is the total amount of unemployed compared to the total amount of job openings, and the number of unemployed is less than the total amount of job openings.
I don't really understand. Like you're
It
saying, like
basically
are
just
these
means there's more.
are these
There's more.
Is this American numbers?
Huh?
Like American
These are American
citizens?
number. The BLS, the census includes illegal immigrants too. So this is just
Job
everybody.
openings of what? Like what job
For
openings?
all
Of
these
America,
for
of
the relevant industry in America.
Okay, so job openings for the people coming here?
No,
Or
just
just
total
job
amount of
openings,
job
just literally
openings
just
in
the word job
America.
openings.
Just total amount of job openings in America for that industry. It's
And so the
basically
first is unemployed
It's
people in
basically
America?
showing that for the it's basically showing for the top jobs that immigrants go into. There's more.
Yeah.
There's more job openings than there are people to fill them that are currently here. So taking in more illegal immigrants wouldn't actually take job opportunities away from Americans because there aren't even enough Americans to fill the job openings that we currently have open.
I don't think that this is even showing like you're saying these are job openings that are just happening. So the first one is unemployed people, the second one is job openings. So there's 1.4 million job openings for healthcare and social assistance, and every single one of your sources is from the government web.
Yeah, no shit. They're the ones who measure it.
Right, but what I'm saying is that why would this matter? Like I'm kind of confused here. I don't
Because
really
you're
follow
trying to
this.
say that the reason you don't like immigrants and illegal immigrants is because they're taking job opportunities from Americans, but that doesn't really make
And there's
sense.
more of them. We already
that
can't
would-
fill them even if they
We
weren't
already
here.
can't fill them, but it wouldn't make sense if if the total amount of unemployed people who could in the respective industry, who are like the total amount of unemployed people is less than the total amount of job openings that are currently here. That would actually go to the opposite of your
But
claim.
wouldn't the
They
location
say that we
matter?
can't fill
Where are
it.
these jobs being opened, and also who's taking
These are
the
for
jobs?
This is for the entirety of America. The claim was about the entirety of America.
But what
shit, I'm
was
gonna
it
talk
my
about all of
claim?
it.
Was it my claim that the companies are hiring the immigrants at higher rates than they're hiring actual
said that they were
Americans?
taking job
I guess you'd have to
opportunities.
say no.
You were saying that they were taking job opportunities from Americans, which implied that Americans are struggling to find jobs because immigrants are taking them. But that
Well,
wouldn't make sense.
no,
But that wouldn't make
but that
wouldn't make sense if
you're
the
ignoring what I
job
said after that,
if the industry can't satisfy its entire labor demand through the immigrants.
No,
Huh?
but what I said after that was that the companies are preferring immigrants for lower wages. That was what I said that, by
Who
the way.
cares?
Everyone can rewind.
If
Who
the
cares?
if there
Who
yeah
cares
if
of
there's
what
if you have
the
10
statement,
if
or
you have
who
10
cares
if
about
you
like what I actually
no
said?
no
Like,
who
what do you
cares
mean?
if you have 10 job openings and you can satisfy 2 of the jobs with lower wage immigrants and you can satisfy the other 5 with higher wage American another 5 higher wage
But that's not really.
Americans.
But what you
still
see
have
is that
3
a
job
company
openings
probably will
left. You're
prefer.
not it's not decreasing the opportunity for any American in that scenario, even if they're hiring them at a lesser wage.
No, it would. If a
How?
company prefers to hire someone at a lower wage, it would actually.
No, it wouldn't, because that's assuming that it would satisfy their entire labor demand. If it doesn't, then they would be forced to hire on Americans at their wage.
If they have the full labor, I mean, I don't think that there's there's these
If
job
I'm
openings.
if I'm a business
like
owner and I need to hire 10 people to do a certain job and I can satisfy like that labor demand of 2 illegal immigrants at a lesser wage, and I can satisfy another 5 with Americans at a higher wage.
Why would
At
you
Americans
pay
at a
them
higher
at a higher
wage,
rate?
but then I can't find anybody else.
You're almost there.
But I
You're
can't find
almost there.
anybody
Why
else
would you pay them at a higher rate?
for those 5, huh? Why would I would hire at a higher rate because I still need to satisfy the labor demand, because it costs more for me to not fill those jobs than it is to just hire the Americans on. That's why. If I can hire it cheaper, I would, but the labor demand still need to be met at the end of the day. That's where the job openings exist. So you wouldn't be actually decreasing the opportunities, because once again, it presupposes that the full labor demand can be met by the immigrants. Oh gosh. Okay. And this, like, even if this was true, this would only be a short-term temporary effect, because immigrants end up inducing demand on the economy and creating more jobs via the existence. Fucking god.
Is he gone?
Oh my god, no, look at fucking general.
The fucking plankton.
I'm not...
That's so goated.
That's so
Wait,
goated.
I'm taking that gift, bro.
Oh
I'm
my
taking
god,
that
that's
gift.
hilarious. Oh my god, fire.
Is this the greatest gift of all time?
It's one at a time system. Bro, just like, nah. Nick, you still there, man?
Whatever. I had another argument, but I wanted to wait until you were done because I didn't want to throw you off.
No, you good, bro.
Which is the whole I support, like, fucking.
Nick, you there?
Oh, is it my
Nick,
time
you
on
there?
the call?
Be quiet for a second, dude. Nick, you there?
Is it my turn?
Nick.
I don't know. If this guy doesn't come back, we probably.
Yeah, he's not coming back. Okay. Go ahead. What is it?
Can I join these short?
Can you what?
Hi.
Hi, you're being streamed. Chat, say the N-word as a hi.
Am I live? Okay. So what the problem is all the like shitskins and niggers that are coming in and like taking all of our fucking
No,
welfare.
I never thought of that.
So it's like the problem wouldn't be it would be fine
You're so
if we weren't
funny and
like there
awesome.
wasn't this welfare state where all these
Huh.
niggers and like shitskins coming in from the left and right.
I see.
So what I say,
Brilliant,
Abraham
brilliant,
Lincoln, listen,
brilliant.
did you know Abraham Lincoln, his idea was to remigrate the slaves after he freed them. Did you know that?
Mm-hmm.
Y'all
Yep.
shouldn't be here. The Jews brought you here. It's not my fucking problem.
Purple, why would you
okay?
do that?
And no, it's
Fuck
like
you.
it's
I
common
know,
sense.
man.
The
Well,
more
it's because
people
I-
you
it's because
bring
I
in, the
wanted to
less
eradicate
opportunity
white
there will
people,
be.
that's why.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Well,
Interesting.
there's like houses already cost too much. Why do you think that this is like some abstract concept to you because you're like a fucking stupid retard?
Mhm.
You don't
Mhm.
understand. Bringing in more people creates more demand. There's less opportunity
Nick wants back.
in
You
housing.
can kick the troll.
Why would bringing in more fucking shitskins help me
Mhm.
buy a house?
Mhm.
That's so
By the way, you're
stupid.
live on YouTube. You might get banned.
Mhm. Okay.
Nick wants back. Can you drag Nick back in? Or am I a mod? You never gave me a mod. Here, scratch. There. What's
You're
up,
not
man?
mod? Oh, I never gave you mod. Sorry.
Yo,
Are you mod now?
you gotta finish
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. I mean,
that up.
Wait. Check you can use your mod powers. You know?
I'm just gonna drag Nick back. Okay, I can use him. Okay.
Oh.
You didn't prove that Americans are being preferred.
What?
Your argument, you're saying that idealistically you'd want the labor demand to have Americans and immigrants and not favor one or the other, but you're probably gonna favor low skill, low labor, like lower wages
Yeah.
over higher wages.
I didn't deny that.
I
I
made
just
that
I just
point.
said that just
You
because
you
they're happening
decided
doesn't
to.
mean it's I said just because that happening doesn't mean it's taking away opportunities from Americans because that assumes that the full labor
It does,
demand for
because who hires the Americans?
Bro, did you listen to any of my argument? I Gary. Okay.
He was arguing that
What?
the wage demand. Sorry.
Say
Okay.
that again. What?
Okay.
Did I look into what?
Your argument assumes that the full labor demand, right? The labor demand. Actually, I need to switch to a different thing. Oh, fuck. So, your argument assumes that the full labor demand of any given industry is fully satisfied by the immigrants. And if that labor demand isn't, then they would be forced to hire on Americans at that higher wage to fill that labor demand.
It doesn't necessitate that the labor demand is being filled completely by the immigrants.
It
It
literally
just
does.
necessitates that human greed takes place and that you're going to hire someone
It
at
literally does.
with
Because
less
if
money
I
than
need to hire on 10 workers and I can only fill
another
and I
person.
can only fill 2 of the spots when I'm going to the lower wage, and I'm forced to hire on the higher
What
wage
is this spot
Americans.
thing you're doing? What spots are you talking about? These spots are not like if someone
It's supposed
has
to be
job
hypothetical
openings,
to try and help you understand, bro. Like, Am
but the
I wait,
hypothetical
purple?
isn't
Is this too
is that
complicated? Is
practical?
am I
Is
being
there
is this
literally two
understandable?
spots?
Purple. So I'm saying
Like, is there
literally
literally
just like too
multiple
complicated for him
spots
to understand.
that need to be filled?
Sorry, what'd you say?
It's like what I'm saying too complicated to be understood, or is he just being like actually retarded?
I mean, I can think of a
I mean,
way
that's
to
not an
refute what you're
argument.
saying, but he's not doing it. So
You can think about what?
I can think of a way to like sort of argue against what you're saying, but he's not doing that. So
But like, is it understandable? Like, is the argument understandable?
yeah, it's pretty clear. It's like if I have a labor force that is like 30%, if I have a labor demand that's like 30% fulfilled by low wage immigrant labor, I still have to fulfill the other 70% of the labor demand, and to get that, I would have to pay the least amount of money that would get me that 70%.
Can't even hear this
and
guy.
because I already exhausted, all right, well, fucking
Let me
every
turn
single
it up.
time my mic does this, bro. I don't understand. I hate Microsoft so much. It's my fault, man.
Wait,
It's
no,
not
you
your
understand?
fault.
Oh yeah. Wait,
can't
I have you
hear
in full. I have you in full volume.
Yeah, it's my
forgetting
fault. It's my mic. I hate Windows. Windows always turns my mic to like half volume, and I have to fix it every day.
What? What is it?
Who's this guy?
Well, chill.
Is it
Okay,
about
just
Among
listen in.
Us? Is it about Among Us?
No.
Oh, okay. Get out.
You can listen in on the live, Twin. You can listen on the live. All right. Anyways, hold on. Let me fix my sound settings, and then I can explain. That's what I'm saying.
Whoa! Holy
Input,
aggression.
Manage sound devices. Shit. Input device properties.
that gif is so funny. Holy shit. Who the fuck made that?
Okay. I keep looking at it, bro. All right. Does that sound a little better or no?
It's actually the exact same purple.
Oh,
You're so
nice.
quiet.
All right. Hold on.
We were so quiet. Nick, do you know how to turn people up on your end?
I need to buy a new microphone at this point.
Is your gain maxed out
I
yet?
apologize for the interruption.
So companies hire Americans. Companies are the ones choosing to hire these people. So it does matter. You're saying you're seeing this as like almost like opportunities are like you're forgetting that there's a third party there. There is a hirer, there's an employer. It's
I'm not
not
forgetting it.
just
It's integral to
opportunities
the
that need to be
argument.
met. There's also a person who has, you know, someone who they'd rather employ and someone they rather not.
If
I
if
feel like
have
that's
a,
missing
if
in
you have
your
a labor
point.
demand and I can fulfill 30% of it by illegal low wage workers, I still need to satisfy the other 70%, which means I'm going to be forced to hire on to hire on the higher paid American workers to actually get them to work in my business.
Higher rates of immigration cause what? Based off that point, what do higher rates of immigration cause?
More
if you increase
jobs
the
to be
rate of
fulfilled?
immigration, what would it cause based off of what you just said?
More jobs to be fulfilled? You'd be able to satisfy your labor demand more with lower wage immigrants? Is that what your point is?
Does this help my mic?
Yeah, but once again, but the point, I don't really care.
Obviously,
I really,
Americans
once
are
again,
being
once again,
hired.
I don't really, no, it doesn't.
Huh?
And
It
you're
doesn't
presupposing that
automatically
deporting
assume that because you're assuming, you're presupposing that the full labor demand can be met by the immigrants, and then
No, that's not true.
either that
I didn't say it had to be entirely met by the
either
immigrants.
you're
I
assuming
don't
it's
think
gonna be
that would
fully met
even...
by the immigrants, or you're saying that
No.
enough Americans are gonna some Americans are gonna be pushed out of jobs that they could have taken.
No, I
But
mean
that
they're not being preferred
Who cares if they're preferred if they're getting the job anyways?
because that means they don't have the same opportunity. That means they're being
Yes, it does. If they're not meeting their full
someone
labor
else is
demand,
being
it does
preferred
mean
over
they're
them.
getting the job.
If you have two people, if you have two people that want a job and you can pay the other one less,
my
you're gonna
God.
take the one you can pay less,
If
right?
I need-
And you're saying, oh no, but there's other jobs,
If
right?
I need-
There's
if
not
there's
just a bunch
two
of people.
people-
There's not just a bunch of people you can pay less, right? But
If
that
there-
still does
no,
not. That
no,
doesn't
no.
negate my point at all.
If I'm a hospital and I need to hire on 2 doctors, and there's only 2 people who can fulfill my need. There's only 2 doctors who literally who are willing to apply for the job, and one is an immigrant who's willing to take a lower wage, and one is an American who's going to take a higher wage. I'm hiring on both, regardless of the fact, because I need to satisfy my labor demand. So it wouldn't
what if there
matter.
were
The
an
opportunity for the
increase of
American wasn't
immigrants?
lost,
There was
even
a
if the
lot of
immigrant was
immigrants.
preferred. Huh?
What if there was? I mean, that doesn't really contradict my point. I mean, I guess I agree with
And
that.
if there's,
I mean,
yeah, okay. And so my point is the fact that there's literally more job opportunities and there are unemployed people currently, including illegal immigrants, by the way.
Of course, nobody's saying there's more people
here
than job
would literally
openings.
mean that
wasn't even my claim.
Americans aren't losing job opportunities to immigrants currently. That's what that means.
No, having a job opportunity does not mean you have a job that someone prefers you for the job. That some's going to hire you for the job.
I don't care.
Or you're
I
more,
don't care if
it
you're
doesn't mean
preferred
you're
for a
more
job or not.
likely.
I prefer it if
It doesn't
you
mean
have
you're
the
more
job.
likely.
I care if you have the job.
But do
You'd
you
be
see how
just as
that doesn't
likely.
Do you see that? Like, that doesn't mean you're more that doesn't mean you're less or more likely to be hired. Just because you have the same, just because you exist in the same country and in the same state or in the same, you exist within the same, like, I don't know, you're about to join the company.
Who cares
or
if you're
about
preferred more or not if the employer has to
about to
hire
get an
you
interview.
anyways?
Who has to hire you anyway? Wait. Say that again.
Who cares
Who
if you're
has to hire
preferred or
you
not
anyway?
if the employer has to hire you anyways?
Not necessarily. What if the job opening closes when they already have the people?
Cool, maybe that could happen, but that's not
immigrants-
the statistical truth right now. When we look at the statistics, which I already provided to you, that's not the case. The job
No,
openings are
that's
more
not-
than the unemployed. Wait, did the statistics I provided you
No,
not
that-
literally show
that
there's
wasn't-
more
that wouldn't
job
support
openings than
the point
unemployed
you just
people?
made. That would support the point you made earlier, which
Huh?
no one disagrees with.
That's
That doesn't-
integral to the point
you
I'm
just
making
use,
now.
You just use the same. What?
Okay, I'm getting frustrated.
What?
I'm so like if you can't understand this, the point I'm making now
You
is
can't
integral
reuse
to the.
those sources. They don't prove.
Yes,
they
wait.
don't prove
I'm
what you
making the
just
same
said. They prove
argument.
what you said
Yes,
earlier.
it does. It literally
Okay,
does.
why?
Because we can't satisfy our labor
Maybe there's
demand
different
with the
sources on there.
with the current amount of immigrants and Americans that are here currently. So nobody's losing job opportunities to immigrants. Because they're
Nobody
still
said
forced to
no.
hire.
That's not the
Because they still
argument,
need
though.
to
That
hire
was
on
how you try
people.
to frame it. We're not saying we're not saying that there's job opportunities being lost.
Dude, why
We're
would you
saying
care?
that
It's not affecting anybody then.
whoa. We're saying that the companies rather hire people for less money, to pay them less money than the American that
How is that
already lives
affecting
here for more
Americans?
money. That was the argument. The argument was not
How is that
there's
affecting?
literally
Wait,
less
how is that
job
affecting? How is that
openings
affecting Americans?
because you're less likely to get hired.
That once again,
If
that
there's an immigrant next to
once
you.
again, that presupposes that they can satisfy their full labor demand, which, with the statistics prove, they can't fulfill the full labor demand.
So
which means they're gonna have to be forced to hire on. So it doesn't affect Americans. So why should I care? If it's not affecting Americans, why should I care?
Americans? What doesn't?
If them preferring people to be hired at a lower wage, these immigrants, isn't affecting Americans' opportunity to get a job, why should I care about it?
Because you're assuming an opportunity means that the job opening exists.
It does, because we have the statistics for it.
No, you have a statistic saying job openings exist. You don't have a statistic saying job openings literally mean that the company is going to hire the American over the immigrant.
Why do companies have job openings and post them?
They need the labor.
Oh, so it literally is kind of saying that, isn't it?
Get the labor.
I mean, like, what are we talking about? That's literally what it's saying.
Nobody's denying that companies need labor. They need cheap labor.
Like, are you serious?
Which immigrants,
That's
if you have an immigrant, you're probably going to get hired.
Literally saying,
you're more likely to get hired.
I need more labor. That's the entire point of posting a job opening. So that's exactly what it's saying.
I think that you can agree that I never denied that companies need labor.
I never said you denied that. I'm saying that you're denying the fact that
actually
you're denying the fact that the current
situation
point to
they
that
can hire for lower wages.
The thing that you're denying is that even though companies prefer immigrants that work for less than Americans, the current statistics show that that's not going to affect Americans because they can't satisfy their full labor demand with those immigrants, nor the Americans that are currently here, which means that they're forced to hire on those immigrants. Which means
because you're conflating job openings existing with the full entire. Like, you're saying that. I agree. Like, job openings existing means that there are jobs to be met. We need jobs in America, but that doesn't mean that they're going to hire an American for a higher wage. That means that they're going to want more immigrants to come here for lower wages.
Wait. If they can't satisfy their labor demand of immigrants that are currently here, and they need to hire somebody, that basically necessitates they're going to hire the American for a wage because they need to pay them more to attract that labor.
No, it doesn't.
Really? Wait. So if you have like 10 job openings, you can satisfy 3, and you need to
if an immigrant's
those
next
other
to you,
7,
then they're still going to get hired over you.
And you need to fulfill those other 7. Aren't you literally going to have to raise the wage that you're paying those people to attract them to fill those job openings?
Yeah, but what you're saying is that there's still job openings to be met.
I'm correct, because you would necessarily have to attract the American labor. What are we talking about? This is like basic econ.
Well, what you're saying, this is basic econ. You're disproving something that wasn't even my point. My point is that someone is going to be preferred over the other. You're saying no. You gotta let it land. Like, you're saying that but there's still jobs that need to be met. Therefore, the people that are here are going to take them.
Yes.
But there's still more. The thing is that doesn't contradict the fact that a person will be preferred over another person.
I don't care. I care. Wait, dude. I literally don't.
And then I know what your.
I don't get. You know what my other point is? I literally know. I was never denying that fact, right? The thing I was saying is, how does this affect Americans? That's not affecting Americans. If the job opportunities economically, it just isn't. You're talking about a fact that doesn't affect Americans because they can't even satisfy their labor demand currently. That doesn't matter.
What doesn't matter?
Oh my gosh. Even if they're preferring immigrants, it doesn't matter because they can't satisfy their full labor demand with the Americans and the immigrants here currently. Because they're forced to pay the Americans more to attract the necessary labor to fill the positions. So even if they're being preferred, it's not affecting Americans' job opportunities.
Well, it's not one to one.
At the end of the day.
The amount of job openings is not 1-to-1 though. It's not like, I have 5 jobs, I need 5 people. You advertise that doesn't mean you literally will only settle for 5 people. Like, you know what I mean? Like, you won't. It doesn't mean that you're literally going to be like, I have a job opening right here, and the amount of job openings that you need is exactly going to be like how many you end up hiring. I don't know if that tracks.
Not necessarily, but it's our best indication of like the labor demand that
And your
that
correlation was
needed.
1 to 1.4.
Do you have any
I don't
other
know
like
what it was.
what other data will we use to try and figure out the labor demand that certain
No,
industries need?
again, falsification is independent of replacement. I don't need to bring you a
Falsifications are
fucking
independent
source.
of what?
Okay, let me talk. So what you're saying is that these like the amount of job openings. Wait, let me see how many there were. Like, let's divide this.
I'm
Hold
saying
up.
like I'm obviously isn't tracking
Yeah,
101, but it's
hold
our
up.
best
Let's look at the
indication
thing
of
again.
labor demand. Yeah, that's the point I was making.
No, I agree that it's the best indication, but you're comparing the number, right? The amount of unemployed here with the amount of job openings. Is the amount of job openings the actual amount of people that the company settles to hire? I don't know. And let's look at the correlation in the first place.
Obviously, it's not going to be the exact amount, but it's our best indication of how many they
Right.
probably
Well,
need.
okay.
So
That's
I'm
actually
not
a good
making
starting
that.
point because we know I know you don't think it's the exact amount, but let's see how much like what will it actually turn out to be. Let's see. Hold up. Where did you type it? In
Type
general.
what?
Okay. So there's 900,000 in retail unemployed, and there's 600,000 job openings. So that would mean that there's more in that, but the other ones show there's not more. That's only one. You have 260. Okay, let's see. So what would a good sequitur for your source would be to see what is the kind of correlations we see with job opening amounts versus how many they settle on, correct?
Yeah,
And
if
how
you
many
want,
they end up
you can
hiring.
go ahead. You can go find that if you want.
And that doesn't scare you, right?
No.
You have this source, right? Like
For the amount they end up
have it,
settling
or I
on.
need to search
I don't
it
have
up?
I don't have a source for like the amount that they end up settling
Yeah,
on like
because
these industries.
oh, okay, yeah, it's that's obscure. I don't, yeah, the core. What do you want me to do right now? I'm gonna search it up.
Yeah, if you want, go ahead.
What do you prefer?
You can go search it up if you want.
I mean, because if the correlation is, well, I guess I have to find it first. But then any job.
Are they playing Among Us? No, they aren't.
That they end up settling on and actually hiring.
Blacks even have the fatigue.
So we have, okay, so it's very simple. We have the people, we have the amounts in each job, and you selected the jobs that are most like the top 10, or I don't know how, the top amounts that immigrants go into, right? So that's already there. We have the amounts, but that's the unemployed people in America on the first column. And then you have the amount of job openings. So now if we can find this correlation nationwide for, average companies, and then we can window it down towards these specific industries, which I don't know if that's possible. I guess I'll just have to search up correlation for companies in general first. It says it's far from one to one. They got 7 million openings in December 2025, and they only had 5 million hires. So let's go to another one though, because we'll take those numbers too. Can write those down. 7 versus 5, 5.3. It is 20 to 47%. No, openings overstate hiring. Okay, let's see the source. Are you there?
Yeah, I'm right here.
Okay, let's see the source for this. Ratio of there's a ratio. This is actual terminology people use. Ratio job openings to unemployed right now. When was this made? 2023. No, that's during COVID. That's going to be highly influenced by, I don't know. 80% of recruiters are posting jobs they never plan to fill. It's by Robert Walters US. Let's see what year this was made.
That's more of an AI thing.
Oh, it's Robert Walters US. This is February 2025. How high application volumes are impacting hiring decisions in today's job market. Let's see what it says. Applicant tracking systems. 94% of recruiters report their positive impact. These ATS systems are good. What does it say about the actual things? Doesn't say anything. Dynamic requirements. 2023. Yeah, it's not showing any numbers here. It's just making statements. Let's go careerplug.com. This is 2022. What year do you want me to choose?
The BLS stuff is
What
the
year
most
matters to
recent,
you?
so you can just do 2020.
What years are your sources from?
2024,
Those government,
Huh? It's gonna be 2025.
your government sources,
It's gonna be
which I
2025. But
believe
you
are
can do
credible, by the
2020.
way. That's
You
not
can do
a
2024, 2025. I don't. Yeah, those would work fine.
okay. So let's look at recent. This is 2024. 40%, 43 of managers, but that's different though. If you're applying to be a manager, that's not what we're talking about. We're talking about low skill. 68% of listings end up in actual hiring for managers. Let's not look at managers. Job postings, Revelo Labs, work intelligence firms. Okay. 73% of people experience a ghost job after job seekers for the business standard survey found that 73% of those people have experienced ghost job. I guess that's a term. Employee branding. Some firms use this source, by the way, is Truth Insights. Okay. So, I don't know what they do, but some firms use ghost jobs to project an image of growth and attract investors. So we can't. I mean, let me go and divide that real quick though, because that was an original number for I think it was like scientist or something, which is pretty important. 5.3. Okay, so that's a 30%. That's a 30%. That's not even that big. So that would be in favor of your point. But there's also many sources saying that there's ghost jobs over 70, 73, 80%, like stuff like that. So I don't know if your chart is perfect in what it's portraying. Like it's not like I don't think every job.
Perfect. I think it's just general for now.
But it's also not. It's not even that it's just not perfect. It's also there's a big margin there that I sourced just a few seconds ago that wasn't too. It was kind of alarming for your chart, for the integrity of your chart.
I'm not saying everything. I'm not saying everything to BLS is perfect. Here's our best indicator so far.
It's not only just perfect. It's like it could possibly
measure,
be off
and trying to measure ghost jobs is obviously gonna be hard. And for specific industries, I'm guessing, like finance industries and like Tech Valley, are gonna be more incentivized to do like the bullshit ghost job shit, anyways.
Yeah.
I mean, I doubt there are studies that separate that shit out by industry.
Bro, I just
I'm kind of blanking out. What's your
What'd you say,
response to like? What's your response to the?
I just finished. Sorry,
huh?
I was gonna make a joke.
What? Go ahead, point.
Oh, I was just gonna say.
Speak really loudly.
I just finished my 50 applications for Strawberry Gardener, and they were all ghost jobs. I'm so screwed.
True.
So comparing the job openings to the amount of people that are unemployed wouldn't really be. It would be the best, you could say, but it doesn't matter if it's the best.
I think
again, falsification is independent of replacement. So
of course it's relevant. Our best estimate for like the amount of people to fill certain job.
It doesn't matter if it's the best. Though,
of course we're talking about immigration. Yeah, of course that matters.
I mean, your chart was just falsified.
It literally just wasn't.
It was, because job openings don't correlate 1-to-1 with how many people are unemployed. That's a horrible metric by the sources. I listed like 10 sources.
You listed like a source about ghost jobs and scientists? In managers?
No. The first one that I said we're not gonna use was from scientists. It said 7 million jobs were were opened, but only 5 million were hired. But that was for scientists. I said let's not go by that.
Wait, what was the one you just cited then?
Oh shit! I mean, I could go in my search history again.
Are you on Xbox?
Hunter.rng says up to 50% of job postings were in the Woods and Wong business. What is that? What did they hire? Woods and Wong.
Woods and Wong?
Oh, that's just construction. It's just construction. With some false positives. It says 50% of job postings were ghost jobs in 2024.
Yeah, it doesn't matter.
For fucking construction.
Construction was one. Construction.
Why does it not matter though? Why?
Huh? Because construction was literally one of the only ones in the chart.
Oh, well, it's not on your
second
list.
Page. It's on the page above. I just took the screenshot of the total that had more that had more unemployed than total job openings.
So, you're an American, right? I mean, you are. You're American.
Yeah, obviously, bro.
Hello.
I'm totally American.
Why are you? Why
I'm definitely
are you
not a
trying
Somali.
to?
I'm definitely not a Somali immigrant.
Well, what do you think about the? I know
I'm
that they're
joking.
illegal. I don't think they're illegal.
joking.
I'm pretty sure they're all legal. But like, don't you think that we should probably like override the Constitution to get the Somalis out of here?
Absolutely not.
Absolutely not.
Why not? Don't you think
Wait,
the whole
hold on.
welfare scam is
Because
destructive?
diversity is our greatest strength. Okay, go ahead, Durrell.
What do you mean?
I
mean, I guess.
do
I mean,
you
it could
think-
be.
okay, do you
I mean,
think-
no. I mean, that's a good point. Diversity can be a strength, but I just think that here, I don't think we're benefiting enough from the diversity for the Somalis.
do you-
Like, I agree. I
do you
think the
believe-
diversity can help countries, but definitely not for the Somalis. Like coming here
Listen
and
very quiet.
whatever they- I don't
closely,
know, they
'cause
were doing a
Urkel
lot
is
Do you believe
very
that every
quiet.
single person? Sorry, I'm sorry. Do you believe that every single person on U.S. soil should have the right to due process?
No.
You're
No.
You're an illegal immigrant. You're an illegal
Not
immigrant,
necessarily.
and you're being deported.
Not necessarily, because if someone says, I don't think that the people getting detained by ICE should have due process so we can be more efficient and get them out of here, that's
What-
not
so-
actually
So what are you
that's
gonna
not-
do? What are you
that's
gonna
actually
do when
would
the
be kind of
government
a stretch
accuses?
for you to say,
What are you
oh,
gonna
well,
do
you
when the
don't care
government
about
accuses?
laws?
What are you gonna do when
You're
the
an illegal
government
immigrant, and you're
accuses-
being deported.
Yeah. What are you gonna do?
But
You're an illegal immigrant. No, you don't have
I mean,
due process. You can't defend yourself. You're an illegal immigrant, and you're being deported right now.
oh, you're asking me
that's
if
the end
I
of it.
was an illegal immigrant, what would I do?
No, we're saying you're a citizen.
I'm
and
saying
the government's
you
accusing you
are-
of being
you-
an illegal immigrant, and the government's deemed that illegal immigrants have no due process, so you're getting deported.
Now you are being deported.
Wait, what?
You're being
I'm
deported.
so confused. What?
Yeah.
Wait, why
My
am I
okay,
being
Okay.
deported?
So okay.
The- I'm saying you are being deported because you are an
Explain it.
illegal
Wait,
immigrant.
you guys are trying to use some logic here. I don't. I
Okay.
don't
So the
understand.
the
What are you talking, like,
hypothetical is
some
that you
kind of,
have an American citizen.
I'm so
And
confused.
the government, you have an American citizen, and the government accuses the
Yeah.
American citizen of being an illegal immigrant. And since the government has deemed that nobody who's deemed illegal immigrant gets due process, then this person is just deported and has no way to contest the
Wait,
fact
how do you
that they're
claim
a
someone's a
citizen.
legal immigrant if they're not though? I'm so confused. Why?
Because you just
What's the
do.
basis for like they don't like you?
You could have probable cause. You could say
Yeah.
walk up. I guess government's allowed to racially profile them, so they could say this person,
what?
this person's a Hispanic American. They're standing outside of Home Depot. ICE officer goes up to them. They just happen to not be carrying any sort of identification in that day, and so they say, okay, well, I probable cause that you're illegal immigrant, and you don't get any due process to contest that.
I don't think you can even really do that though. I don't
you
think
can.
that you can just say someone is a well, I guess if you can, I mean that's highlighting an
You
issue.
can if
with
if
our-
they don't have the due process.
Yeah.
If they don't
due
have
process-
process, you
ICE
absolutely can.
You don't
doesn't-
have
wait,
due
wait,
process
wait,
under
wait,
law,
wait.
then you can.
I think you asked a question. Wait, because I think you guys are chaining this off of a question that you misinterpreted my answer. When you asked me about ICE and you were talking about ICE and you're saying, oh, should they get due process? ICE doesn't completely remove due process. That's not what I meant. I forget what their system is, but whatever it is, I mean, I think it's working. It's good. And I don't think their system deports American citizens. And if it does, I mean, then yeah,
You're
I guess
objecting
you have a point. But I don't think ICE deports American citizens. I mean, they kill crazy ones, but I mean, I wish that's a good thing, actually.
Alex Preddy was crazy.
Well, Alex Preddy was what?
Crazy.
What,
No,
was
that
Alex
it.
was Alex Preddy crazy?
Crazy.
Was he crazy?
Yeah.
Yeah, was he crazy? Like when he was filming the officer and the officer tackled him and then they visibly disarmed him. So he was on the ground. They disarmed him. He was disarmed, and then the officer shot him.
The
and the rest of the
officer
officers
who
started shooting him.
the first officer who shot him literally saw the other was looking literally right at the other officer disarming him.
It's funny here because I
But
don't.
we're not gonna get
Let's
off
say
of the
yeah.
topic.
Let's say that everything you're saying is true and that the ICE ossifers did Ossifa, please Ossifa, right? Alex, what's his name? Preddy was like, please Ossifas.
He's white,
I got
bro.
a family.
It doesn't even make sense,
like-
okay? Holy shit.
What?
He's white though. It doesn't even
Wait,
make
what?
sense.
Okay, I don't want to get off topic. You're gonna say that just because one killing happens doesn't mean the whole system's bad. All right, whatever.
Yeah.
I want to
Yeah.
focus on the due process part. You believe what
Okay.
you're saying is that not everyone on U.S. soil should get due process, and I'm saying
I don't.
that if
I'm
that is
answering that to
true-
defend ICE. I don't know if that's what they do. When I answered that, I was trying to defend ICE and what their process is. I don't know if they completely get rid of due process. I'm pretty sure they just limit it. They don't
Do you want to
completely
get rid of due
it
process
though.
for illegal immigrants?
I don't know what that would entail. Like you say, like, would you want to do this? The world would end if you did. Like, I guess I don't know. Not like I don't know what it entails. Like, it could entail something bad. Like what you said. Like someone could have no
I don't think you should
warrant.
be advocating for
and-
like getting rid of people's constitutional rights if you don't even know what the implications of that.
The what? Implications of what?
Also, how can you say
Implications
that
of
you
how that's
support what
gonna
ICE is
affect-
doing if you don't know what it is?
Yeah, affect ICE. Yeah.
I mean, I support them getting people out of here, like getting immigrants out of here.
Right, but let's say that hypothetical
Directly
scenario
answering
I
your
brought up
question,
does
by the
happen.
way.
But let's say that the hypothetical scenario I brought up does happen, right?
What, killing an innocent person?
No, I mean
Or
deporting
the
someone and
person
they have
getting
no due
caught
process.
that was an American citizen, but ICE mistook them for a illegal immigrant.
No, not mistook.
Hello?
You can just say they're an illegal immigrant. It doesn't have to be a mistake.
Oh, okay, well they did it on purpose. Nice. I mean, I don't know what their process is. What is ICE's process? What do they do? How would they? Is that
Scratch? You probably
possible
know
under
more
their
about this than me.
Huh? They can arrest somebody.
I
on
mean,
they
like,
can,
come on,
an ICE
man.
officer,
Like,
an ICE officer
we
can
gotta know
arrest
their
somebody.
process. What
An
is
ICE
their
officer
process?
can arrest somebody on the street without a warrant for if they suspect that they're a legal immigrant. They can oftentimes will get a warrant
Well, let's just say they're
to go and arrest them.
who's
Huh?
okay. Let's just hope that they don't deport a person who is actually an American. Okay, like I get your point. They don't deport a person who's American, but they didn't like them, so they like. I get it, but let's just hope that they're good at their job. I guess. I don't know.
I guess. Do you believe in what founded this country? Do you believe in the Constitution?
Yeah, I don't think that you can really. I mean,
what do you think? Like
what?
America is.
What were you saying? Do I believe in the Constitution?
America is a nation of laws, not of men.
Sure.
To cite
Yeah.
Samuel Adams.
I agree with that.
Okay.
Yes, that's true.
To cite Samuel
I
Adams.
feel like I'm agreeing with something I don't even understand.
But
It's a
it
nation
just seems like you
Is that true?
like.
I don't know.
Huh? That's from a famous Supreme Court case.
If that's what it says, that's what it says. I mean, I don't know. I don't know.
That was from
If that's true, if that's what the Constitution says, and I am a citizen, so I guess I have to follow that. Yeah.
Like
But
I don't.
keep in mind,
I feel like you
Constitution
don't
wasn't
believe
perfect.
what I agree with you, but I just feel like you don't believe what founded this nation, or like what makes.
I don't
you have you have illiberal beliefs on like
Illiberal, like don't like liberals.
No, like illiberalism.
Oh, like I don't like
literally
the
against-
Enlightenment and like
yes,
the
Enlightenment
people
values,
that started the
illiberal.
country.
Yes.
I don't know. What kind of values? I mean, I don't even know why. Okay. What was the question?
You have illiberal beliefs. That wasn't really a question; it was just a statement.
Maybe,
Mom, I'm debating.
I don't even really know. Yeah, real. I don't really know what that means.
Really, life, liberty, pursuit of happiness, and then baked in there, it's just like the right to property.
I mean,
So you have like
That one's
liberal
not as base.
institution, and then the founding fathers.
oh,
like,
right
with
to
that.
property.
Yeah,
That one's not as base.
Wait, why are we talking about property, bro?
That's a
I
liberal
feel like
belief.
you're
Talking about liberal
talking, but
values.
you're not realizing that like you're not explaining what you're saying.
Oh
though.
yeah. Liberals believe in like free market capitalism. You say necessarily believe in
Well, why would
the protection of property, which is based.
you don't think I believe in free market capitalism? I mean, if that's what is good, then yeah, I guess I believe. Is that good? Is free market capitalism good?
I don't think it's good, but
It can be good and bad.
No,
right?
we're not
it's nuanced.
going at it. We're not going down that road.
we're not going down that road right now, right? But we're just saying that you are
Yeah, so what's
against like
your
we're
point?
saying you're against the liberal institutions, which are supposed to protect the like the inalienable rights that the
I
founding
don't-
fathers wrote about.
No, I
Declaration
think
of
that
Independence.
that's a grossly large extrapolation to make out of my point about like supporting ICE. Like I feel like
You
you're
kind of
trying to.
are, like the
I mean,
founding
that would. It's
you're-
kind of
you're
a poison,
against-
poison
the
the well
founding fathers
policy.
believe,
You're,
like
you're
these
probably
like the Fifth Amendment, under Fifth Amendment, like the right to due process was like an inalienable right that people have, right? The right to due process
how
under
does
law.
ICE Well, keep in mind that the Constitution isn't perfect, and there's things that can be like there's things in the Constitution that by technicality you'd be breaking, but like obviously if you said, "Hey, Thomas Jefferson, should I start deporting these fucking millions of immigrants that came here from a different continent?" And like, well, not different continent, well, I guess Mexico, whatever, like India would be. I don't even know how many Indians are coming here, but like, they're not illegal though. Like, should I be deporting these people? I feel like you'd get a yes, right?
Yeah, but then if you
But
ask
they're
them,
like,
should I
no,
do
but
that?
your
Should-
rules
when I-
say that actually they're on the land.
If
They're
I
on the
ask-
land,
if
and
I
they need
ask-
due process.
If I asked Thomas,
like,
if I asked Thomas Jefferson that can I start deporting these millions of people, and in doing so violate the Constitution, he would say no.
Well, no, because I don't think.
Well, yes.
Keep in mind. Do you agree that they made a
He
mistake?
literally was
with,
one of the
year
writers of the
terms?
Constitution. I'm pretty sure he would have been pretty against people breaking.
No,
it.
not necessarily, because the Constitution was not made perfectly, and there is mistakes in it. Like, arguably, a lot of people say that the term limits.
And he was also. I'm
Wait,
sure
is it
he was
the
also
con-
the one
is
who
it
wrote in
in
how they
Congress?
could amend that. He would probably be like, if you think it's a mistake.
You can't
in the
amend
Constitution-
everything though. You can't, because you can't amend you can't like change the Constitution when it says the term limits, right? That you can't change.
You
What
literally
is
could
that?
amend that. Yeah, you can.
No, they won't. But no, what I'm saying is you give the power to them to change their limits, but they won't want to because like they're the ones doing it. What is that, like the Congress or whatever? They're not gonna change their limits, right? Because they don't want
Thomas
to.
Jefferson
Wait,
wrote the Constitution for Thomas Jefferson. If you're
there's things in the
I'm not going to
Constitution that
concede
you can't
this
change
point.
that
If
you
you went
wanna
back in
change.
time and you asked Thomas Jefferson about this, he would have said, "Don't break the Constitution." He said, well, the Constitution is perfect. He would then say, "Then
Well, he'd be. Well, I think he would say,
use
"Yo,
then
we
use
got
the amendment, then
Constitution."
use the amendment process," which I literally wrote into it.
No, I know, but that doesn't necessarily. That's like a composition fallacy, or not really. No, I don't think that would.
How?
No, I don't know if it's a fallacy, but I disagree with what you're saying. You're saying that like he wrote it, therefore he agrees with what it entails, and what it entails is something that comes from he probably didn't like comes from something he probably didn't think about, right? Which is like a bunch of people coming here at a fast rate that we can't, we don't want. So I think he would. I mean, there are issues with the Constitution that if you went back in time, they'd be like, yeah, let's fix this before we fucking release it. Like the term limits, right? Like they get to decide their term limits. How is that fair? How do you get to decide your term limits? That's not fair. Other people should. Therefore, you don't get 16-year terms. Like
The
things
founding
like that.
fathers
Like
realized that there were flaws in the Constitution, which is why they wrote in the system for it to be amended as a living document. But they also, as I
You
said,
can't
they
change
also
everything.
believe
You
that
can't-
America's a
some
nation.
things-
They also
well, stop
believe
it, you
that
can't.
America's a nation of laws, right? And that we are governed fundamentally on the supreme law, and that is the Constitution, and that people have certain inalienable rights that shouldn't be broken. Like I don't, if they thought it was so important.
But do
they
you
would've
know
wrote
what
it in.
Thomas Jefferson? Do you know what the founding fathers' views were? Are you sure that they would agree that that since the Constitution, by technicality, wants everyone to have due process on the law, that when we get invited by a
Within our
nation of
jurisdiction,
immigrant,
absolutely. You can't say you believe in inalienable
You don't
rights. You can't say you
believe that,
believe in
though.
inalienable rights for
And I can-
everybody that are
you don't-
endowed to you by your creator, not of your citizenship, and not say anybody
well,
within
then that would
your
be a shift in the
jurisdiction
goalpost
doesn't.
fallacy, because that's not what you said earlier.
Huh?
What you said earlier, that's a shifting the goalpost fallacy, because it's not what you said earlier. What you said earlier was that he would agree that the Constitution, he wouldn't agree that people should be well, I guess they say remigrated now.
No, I'm saying he
that
would
people
probably
shouldn't
agree that they
be-
should be deported. He would just want them to have due process when it happened.
Not if it's at higher rates. He'd be like, what if you asked him,
No.
what if it's at rates that,
Wait,
we
wait.
need to get them out?
The founding fathers expressed their belief for these fundamental inalienable values in the Declaration of Independence that are endowed to you
The
by your
immigrants that came
creator,
here
and
exceeded
not
the
of
population at that
wait.
time.
Can I finish?
What was the population at the time of him writing that?
What, black and
Let's search it up.
Anglo-Saxons?
Black people. I didn't talk about black people. Let's see.
Sure, they weren't people.
Population.
Oh, boy.
Population during Thomas.
I think he means the number, not the component.
During Thomas
Okay.
Jefferson's. When did he write this? I have no
The
clue.
population.
When did he add his little part
you
into
can't
it?
wait. Where did the population matter to believing that people have certain inalienable rights?
Because let's say you're 200 years ago and you're writing a document for your country you're about to make, right? Basically what we're just talking about.
Mhm.
And you're writing in there that, you need, if you're in the land, then you need to go by the courts and you need to have your rights because you're in the land. And if you need due process. But what if the population then was only 10,000 people? And I'm not saying it is, I don't know the number. I'm going to search it up after this. And then some guy time traveled and said to you, there's going to be hundreds of thousands of people coming here And what do you think? Do you think that we always need due
If I
process? What
believe
if
that
there's so
people had
many that it
certain
would be
fundamental
if we
inalienable
didn't?
rights
And
that
be like, yeah,
came,
maybe there is.
if I believe
Maybe
that,
if
if
we're under attack.
if I was somebody who believed that people had certain
Come on, man.
fundamental inalienable rights endowed to them by their creator and not of their citizenship, then it shouldn't matter to whether I think these people should have rights or not, just because about the number of people came in. I would still
Well,
believe, of course, I still believe
you
they
not
have rights.
having rights, well, if you're here illegally, then I mean, listen, there's a reason why this is a thing. This is why ICE exists. I mean, ICE exists because our constitution is not efficient in the manner that you support. I mean, I support that too, but I don't support that the Constitution, everyone go by this due process. I feel like that would take forever, and everyone can understand that. We're never going to get deportations if
There's
we don't have an ICE
expedited
program.
removal exists. There's ways to fast track deportations under the law that's constitutional. Donald Trump just doesn't take that route.
Yeah, but they're extremely inefficient. Why do you think Trump is doing this? Do you think why do you think he's doing this?
What is expedited removal?
Expedited removal?
Yeah.
Get kicked out, then they do due process. I don't know. I don't really know what that.
I don't know why would you say it's inefficient if you don't know what it is?
If you don't know what
is
is,
whenever
why would you say why would you say what if you don't know
why
what
would you say
is?
that all these systems are inefficient if you don't know what it is?
I'm pretty sure. I'm not sure if that really matters. Like, I cannot know what something is and believe that a system is
I don't like to
inefficient.
argue with people when I say, well, yeah, he has options that can fast track like removal, and you say they're really inefficient, and I ask, what is expedited removal? Like, I don't know. It's like, okay, like, why are you talking about things you don't know about?
You're not making an argument right now. You're like appealing to the crowd, trying to like this isn't. This
I
is
am making an argument. You're talking about something you don't know about. That's just invalidates the statement you made. Yeah.
Again, it's fallacious. That's like logical fallacy.
That's not exactly
yes, it is.
because
saying someone doesn't know, saying someone does not. Well, I guess if you follow
how can you make a positive claim
but
about something without knowing about it? Like what? If I know about X,
it doesn't make the claim false, but it doesn't make it substantiated either. He's saying it's insubstantiated. He's not saying it's
you can't substantiate that claim without knowing about it.
What claim?
That these systems are
inefficient. Claim that it's inefficient.
Yeah.
Or not sufficiently efficient.
When I said wait, do you even know what I was saying? What I was saying is that the current, like, if you had everyone do due process, you wouldn't be able to deport them at the rates that we want. The rates that literal Trump supporters propose to Trump. Those rates would never be achievable if you had due process. If you had full due process.
And I said, well, you have things like expedited removal. It's a very limited form of due process, where it's literally just the ICE officer's determination of probable cause of if the person's illegal. And as long as they've been here less than 2 weeks and are within 2 miles of any POE, then you can just deport them. That's super
We're under
efficient.
attack.
That's super efficient.
I've supported this from the beginning of the conversation. We're under attack.
That's almost no. There's very minimal to no due process there.
I guess we have to impede on some rights in the way. I don't care.
How is that? Wait.
I've already stated this multiple times.
How is that an inefficient form of deportation right there? Just based on probable cause.
What is? So you're proposing an alternative?
No, just based on expedited
removal. You're proposing some alternative method. What is it?
Based on just an ICE officer determining somebody using probable cause that they're illegal, and as long as that they've been in the country less than 2 weeks. Less than 2 months, and they're within 2 miles of the port of entry, which most people are, then you can deport them.
Versus ICE, searching up what ICE's full process is.
That's expedited removal. There's different types of process, right?
That's expedited.
Okay, yeah.
Different types of process are for different type amounts of due process, because due process is just due process under the law. So the amount of process you get under the law.
It's a fast track deportation where the U.S. ICE.
Are you looking at NAFSA?
Yeah, it's just kind of like you can't really say that these things are inefficient. You can't point out the numbers that they can if you don't know what they are.
What are you saying I'm saying is inefficient? Whoa. What are you saying that I am saying is inefficient?
The processes that Trump.
You even know what I was talking about.
The processes that Trump could use that would involve giving these immigrants the due process that's required under said process.
What process is that?
Expedited removal.
Don't they already do that?
Yeah,
right, but they made changes to it recently, like as of 2025.
Oh, you're saying that they're like with. Oh, okay. I mean, that's not as efficient. It isn't. It wouldn't. Wait.
What they're doing now is quite literally less efficient. I can tell you. Wait.
I think- I mean,
wait.
I
I can
think
tell you.
what
I can tell you right now. Like them trampling on these
And
people's rights and then
what
getting
ICE
in
does
these lengthy
now.
court battles is not helping anybody. The Abrego Garcia
Also, I mean, you should
situation is
probably
actually long
establish-
extended past.
I do find it kind of concerning that like you're
Yeah,
saying
it says
that the
that
system is so
it's more
inefficient.
efficient if you don't have to go to court.
Well, sure,
Expedited
but,
removal
like,
doesn't
you're
require
saying-
you go to court.
Yeah, and that's what
But
they
like,
do.
what
That's it.
I
Wait,
find
were
it
you
kind of
arguing with
concerning
yourself?
that you're jumping.
No.
Then I don't know what you're saying. Then it doesn't really. I don't understand.
What do you think due process is?
Are you asking me a question?
Yeah. What do you think due process is?
I mean, I'd assume you go to court and get
No,
charged
due
with
process
something.
is just a due process that you're owed under the law. So obviously, different forms of due process.
Wait, why'd
or
you say
depending-
no?
Huh?
Why'd you say no?
Because that's not what due process is.
Wait, how does that
It's
differ
just the
from what I
process that
said?
you're required to have under the law for the government when the government takes an action against you. It doesn't always.
But
necessitate
don't
that you
say
go to
no
court.
when what I said wasn't wrong.
It was wrong.
Why?
'Cause you said due process is like I assume going to court, but not all due process is you going to court, like expedited removal.
Yeah, but would that fall under the umbrella of that term?
It would, but when I ask what is due process in general,
Okay, then
and
don't
you
tell me
say-
I'm wrong
and
then.
you- no,
I mean,
when I
I mean, I feel like
this is like if I ask you like what is socialism, and then you say I don't, and you say worker co-op, like literally no, like does it fall
I
under
said
the
what?
umbrella of?
Wait, what would it be
It's just like if I
equivalent to?
ask somebody what is socialism and they say worker co-op.
Worker co-op? What does that mean?
I don't know, it's a
Don't get
worker
into it. Don't get
cooperative.
into it.
It
Don't
doesn't.
get
It doesn't matter.
Well,
You're
wait,
wrong.
But that's
you're wrong.
not even. Wait, someone not saying the exact definition. Wait, that doesn't mean they're wrong.
It's like, yes, it
If
does.
anything,
I say
if they say-
what is
if they said that to
technology,
you, that
and
would
you say
actually be a fine way to answer that
keyboard, that's
question.
obviously not defining what technology is. That's an example. That's an example.
Well,
of,
I don't know
like,
if that
something
would. I don't know if that would equivalent. I don't know if that's
that is the equivalent
but
because due process isn't just a court or it's going to a court. It's just the due process that you're owed under the law.
if you say, what's a keyboard? Oh, it's the thing you type on. That wouldn't be. You say, oh no, it's actually this device that etc.
But that's
like,
not true.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, you know.
But that's not true. It's not.
That's not
not
true.
That's not equivalent. It's not because due process isn't you go to court. That's not what due process is. It's just the due process going to law. Due process doesn't even necessitate that you go to a court. Type in a key like a keyboard.
But an answer does
require,
a keyboard does not
require that.
necessitate that you type on it.
Huh? A keyboard
A
necessitates
keyboard
that
does
you
not
can type on
necessitate
it.
that you type on it. It's just
It necessitates
something
that
you
you-
do with it. It doesn't.
It necessitates that you
Steamrolled.
can type on it, doesn't it?
Raped, and that you got
That's
raped
not
on that.
true.
I'm not
A
gonna lie.
keyboard necessitates that you can type on it. A due process doesn't necessitate.
Oh yeah, that you
go to
can. I'm
court.
not denying that. I'm not. Nobody
Due process
denied that you
doesn't
can have due
necessitate that you
process
go to
without
court.
that.
That you go to court,
Oh,
or that
man.
you can go to court. That's not what due process
No,
necessitates.
you're right.
Okay, those are that
Isn't
isn't
it? I mean-
analogous then. Like I don't know why you cited that as an example. It was a good analogy.
People got to rewatch that.
Oh my gosh.
Anyways, back to the primary
People,
argument.
please don't
The
rewatch
main
that.
argument.
I prefer it none of you do.
I mean, listen,
This
man.
is kind
Your
of
chart.
this is kind of becoming a semantic.
It's a drag. It
Oh,
really
Yeah.
is.
I mean,
Like,
the
I-
first
I
argument
feel like-
was